Are we ready?
Yeah.
No.
Are you ready, kids?
Well, we're
Aye,
never ready.
Captain!
I can't hear you.
Aye, Captain!
Oh.
He lives in a man up under the sea. Everyone was so out of fucking sync. Hello, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, and welcome to the Parc Femme podcast numero 4. I don't know what 4 is in whatever language numero is.
Quattro.
Numero 4. Welcome.
You basically said quattraro then.
Well. We'll get on to him eventually. Trust. Welcome. So, obviously, there's been no F1 again. But we did have a lot of other series going on. We had, obviously, MotoGP, Moto2, and Moto3, question mark?
Yes.
Nice. We had the British touring cars, and we also had the European Le Mans series. So, we didn't have anything else, did we? That's all we made notes
And
for.
no.
Uh-oh. You're forgetting something. Come on, you got this,
We were
Alice.
just talking about it.
It's another
Big crash.
two-wheeler.
BSB.
Yeah.
There you go.
I would like to point out that I was trying to make notes for the European Le Mans series at the time, so I was not paying a full attention to the conversation. I opened my phone. I was like, "Why is Naomi sent something to Parc Femme about BSB?" So here we are. We got a lovely little guess who and a quick fire quiz as well, and revolving around the week ahead, the week previously, just a little bit on theme. Which I think we should start off with the quick fire quiz. I've lost my Friesland flag. Talking of Nick de Vries, we should be hopefully, fingers crossed, the man gets the F1 seat he fucking deserves.
He really does.
We'll have him to write down. Literally.
Yeah.
I supported him all through F2. I supported him all the way through FE, and I'll support him all the way through F1.
Yes, pick up.
He is the only person I will accept taking P3 in my current standings. F1 edition, kind of like, when someone goes, I'll rank the drivers for the season in F1, mine goes George, Lewis, Seb, and obviously it can't go George, Lewis, Seb next year. The only acceptable person to replace that is to go George, Lewis, Nick. So
I'll allow it.
Yeah. So, are you guys ready for a little
I'm more than ready.
Hell yeah.
I'm so ready.
Like we always do, let us know how you get on down in the comments if you're watching on the YouTubes. We do all have a little alcoholic beverage, to make it an even more unhinged journey. I'm the classy bitch here with a glass of wine. So, that's all I gotta say. I do also have my drink. This is my wine.
Mine's downstairs. If I run out, then heartbreaking.
So, I've tried to make this difficult. This might actually be really easy, because every time I'm like, I tried to make it difficult. And then it bugs us up. So, hint number 1 is this driver started karting at the age of 4 years old.
That is really young.
Mick.
Oh my
I'm
God.
going Sebastian Vettel.
Mick.
Seb.
Number 2.
No clue.
This driver isn't the only racing driver in their family.
Mick.
Okay, but it's
Sebastian
supposed to
Vettel.
be to do with this week. Okay, I know. I know who it is.
I said
still going
the week
south.
just gone.
Oh. Well, it's still... I'll say Mick.
Number 3. This driver has competed in the Macau Grand Prix.
Fuck.
That's like everyone.
Oh no, what a shame.
What a shame.
I feel like I know who this is, but I'm not going to say yet. I'm just going to try Mick.
Oh, no clue.
Is this who I think it is?
I don't know who you think it is.
You know who I think it is.
Sorry, telepathy is working. It's working. It's not working.
You do know who I think.
Say the name, Naomi.
Okay. Number 4.
You're not going to get points. You're not going to get points for
If you
saying
don't say
that's what I was
anything."
thinking.
I'll say it when we get to the end. If I do.
Number 4. This
Yeah.
driver started racing in single-seaters before Naomi was born.
Oh, fuck hell.
So,
Still a lot of people, to be fair.
I told Naomi that she got a little shout out in the guessing.
Yay.
saying how young she actually is.
I'm born in 2004, by the way, just to make that clear.
So it's not Mick.
Yeah, I was going to say, not Mick. Well, no, because if he
2004.
started karting at 4...
But single-seaters, like,
Yeah.
where did Mick
Oh.
start?
Single-seaters,
Yeah,
okay, so
single-seaters.
it's not like Jimmy or
Before
something.
2004.
It's not Jimmy.
Difficult one.
I finally did it, guys! I finally did it! Ollie Swift, be proud of me!
I think we need another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
This driver is known as one of the most successful racing drivers to date.
I still say Sebastian Vettel.
Maybe it is Jimmy. But do NASCAR drivers start in, like, karting?
I don't think so.
I was going to say,
Maybe. I
Did Michael
don't know.
start in karting? He
That's
did,
that's the
didn't
thing,
he?
it could be Michael. That's what I
Because
was
he's
thinking.
got, obviously, he's not the only racer in his family, but
Yeah,
his
but he-
brother, his
True.
nephew, his son.
True, but he didn't. I mean, he technically did start single-seaters before Naomi was born, but that's like a long, long time. I mean,
I
it
didn't
could be.
say
It's
how
still
long
true.
before Naomi
I'm gonna
was
go
born.
Michael Schumacher.
Yeah, I was
He's
going to
gonna
go
be
Michael
Tara.
as well. I'll just, sure.
So we've got a Seb, a Michael, and a Michael.
Aw.
Yeah.
Last clue.
Oh god.
This driver holds the nickname as the King of Singapore.
Fuck's sake.
Yes, I got my first fucking guess. You said
You
Carly,
did,
I'm
you
4
did,
years
you
old. I said Sebastian Vettel. Okay, sorry.
You
Finish your
are
hint.
that,
I'm
that
so
was
sorry.
that was the end of the hint.
Okay,
That was the last
yeah,
hint.
okay. I just got so excited I didn't even hear if you finished it or not.
Yeah, so I just thought, nice little start out with Sebastian Vettel, seeing
Sebastian.
as we are going to Singapore this weekend, and he is the King of Singapore. He has the most
King.
wins, which is actually 5.
Oh.
I'm very sorry for saying 4 last week, guys. 5
5
5
wins.
wins. Won't make it 6, but at least he's got 5.
He could.
Sorry, is
Good,
everyone DNFing
technically.
on the grid?
He could.
The Aston Martin cannot get there.
Everyone else could
Depends.
have
you
a moment.
seen the weather?
Yes.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
It
raining.
is Sebastian Vettel's. It'll be the second
It
ever
could be
wet
his
night
race.
Mm-hmm.
Could be his race.
That's
Who
good
knows?
fact.
I can't believe you got that first guess. Actually, no, I can.
I can.
Oh,
I can
yeah.
definitely believe
You
it.
said Carly at 4 years old, and I was like,
It's the
So-
way that Katie all of a sudden just switched up and she was like, no, I'm going with Mick now.
I said Nick, and then we went Michael.
because you said someone in his family is also racing,
yeah.
so I thought about Fabian because
Yeah,
he did
it's Fabian.
AAC. Yeah.
True.
Fabian Vettel. And then
Yeah.
Sebastian Vettel's actually competed in 2 Macau Grand Prix. He finished 3rd in one of them and 23rd in the other.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Rip Seb. But to be fair, in Macau, that's very easy with the
true.
chaos.
And depending on how you view F1 statistically, because obviously lots of people view it completely different on like who they hold as like the best or who is successful. Across all places, Sebastian Vettel is known as one of the most successful racing drivers. He has 4 world championships, one of the highest amounts of world championships
Yes.
drivers have in Formula 1. So statistically, he is one of the most successful racing drivers to date. A lot of people rank him 3rd statistically.
He is with wins. I believe he is the 3rd most successful driver.
Yeah.
On
Obviously,
wins,
you've got
so-
Lewis, Michael, Sebastian, which
Yeah.
is a cozy top 3 for me. I'm happy with that little top
I mean,
three.
I'm happy.
It's,
Yeah, I'm
it's, a
happy
good,
with
it's a
that.
good top 3.
That's a good top 3. There are a lot of people though that pit Fernando Alonso higher than Sebastian Vettel,
Don't
No,
even.
never have, never will.
and there are a lot
Exactly.
of people. There are a lot of people I want to discuss this because I've been seeing it a lot on TikTok that are discussing that they believe that Max Verstappen's era in Red Bull is
Mhm.
better than Sebastian Vettel's era in Red Bull.
I think Seb had a more competition in his seasons than
Definitely.
Max had.
Like Max last year had very, very high competition, obviously battling Lewis, but this year
With Lewis, yeah.
he's pretty much in his own league. He doesn't really have any competition. Charles Leclerc would be incredible competition for him if he wasn't in the
Ferrari
front
got their
seat.
shit together.
Mhm.
Yeah. And, you know, he would have great competition. And yeah, I think then you could probably pin it against, you know, Seb's battles, if those battles continued on throughout, say, the 4 years. But right now, he's an incredible driver, Max. Like, incredible.
Yeah, obviously.
And it proves that. But at the moment, he is very much in a place where he can overtake a car, get a 40-second lead, and win with like 3 laps.
I think you also
cars.
can't say it until that time is over, because you know you remember Seb being at Red Bull and everyone hates Seb, and now everyone loves Seb, but you can't say, oh, he's better than, you know, his time is better there. You know, you can't say that until it's over, in my opinion. Right now, Max is a 1-time world champion, just about, and maybe will be too. You know, that could happen this weekend, but
yeah,
I think they're gonna hold it off until Japan.
Probably.
Yeah, Honda.
Yeah.
Really depends on what Ferrari is doing. I mean, you never know.
I mean, Ferrari can be bad, but not, like, I don't think they will be below 7th, in my opinion.
Well, after DNF, we've seen it in Singapore once.
Yeah, it can happen. I'm not denying that.
Isn't that where we had the Ferrari sandwich?
Yeah,
Yes.
20.
We're gonna have a version 2 of it.
Hopefully not. Just
Well,
make you aware.
That will mean they take Max out as well, because Max was in the sandwich last time, wasn't he?
My Chelsea girls, just to make you aware, Mason Mount is coming on for England.
Oh yeah, I saw him coming on.
Can't wait to see him next week.
Ooh.
Jealous.
Going
Very
to
jealous.
Chelsea v AC Milan.
Very jealous. Very jealous. Oh, Kim
I'm
Kai
actually
Havertz just scored. That's the last thing I'll say about football.
No.
Sorry.
Oh!
So yeah, England going further down.
It's Gareth Southgate. He's been shambolic this year, Gareth Southgate. Anyway, this is not a football podcast.
Parc'd does football.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
go back to
motorsport.
wheels.
Wheels, engines, you know, tracks,
Wheels.
circuits.
Car, zoom, Ferrari wall.
Yeah. What?
What?
It's just a Ferrari wall.
Yeah.
That's not very nice.
Sorry.
May 2016, Germany 2019. Do I need to go on? What was it? Bahrain or Shakir? One of the two.
Oh, don't you dare.
Oh,
Too
That's
far,
not mean
too
just
far,
Alice now.
too
That's
far,
mean to me.
Too far! That was too far!
Abu Dhabi.
That overstepped the boundaries. That overstepped the line. I still see that.
Hey, I can
still see
carry on
that
stepping
race
the
in my
line.
vision. I am crying. There is a tear at my fucking eye. You stepped the boundaries too far.
I'm so
Nobody
sorry.
brings up my George Russell.
Do you want
No
me?
one.
Do you want me to mention? Do you want me to mention Canada or you know?
Ooh.
Oh, the one that Lewis
Rough.
Hamilton won.
Yeah,
You
not for
know,
you. I'm not trying to insult you, Alice.
I know. I'm helping you insult her.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The George Gills.
Right.
Anyway, to go on to the
Look, let's
things
do a
that
little. Let's
happened.
do a little love heart. I'll see if I can line it up on the thing. No, I need you to go the other way for me. Thank you. I'm gonna hopefully.
For me,
line that up.
this makes no sense.
The camera cuts off. Yeah.
Well,
Girls.
Oh,
Anyway,
Singapore wet night looks very
That will be
exciting.
unreal.
helmets.
George Russell's first
Oh,
ever win in
yeah.
Formula One inbound.
Don't you dare.
wasn't that last race? Sorry, I'll stop now. I'll stop now.
When was your guys' last win? In the fastest car on the grid?
Unfair.
Fastest car on the grid versus the fastest car on the grids?
So, what are we discussing this week?
So does Katie
Not
want to
that.
get started?
Just
Can
Katie Forehead. Sorry. I call her
That was
Katie
mean.
No, I call her Katie Forehead instead of Katie Foreman because I don't like men.
So,
That's a fair
British
enough.
touring cars this weekend. It was round 25 to 27 because every track, like every race weekend, has 3 races. So qualifying was just qualifying. Rory Butcher qualified first, which was good day for him. In race 1, Rory Butcher led from lights to the flag. Basically, he had a good solid race. Sort of out there on his own. The main part of the race was actually between second and third. So yeah, sort of a bit like F1. Yeah,
Yeah.
max out in front, and the actual real race is between second and third. But it was his first win of 2022 and his 10th in his touring cars career. So it was a big one for him.
Yeah.
Pauline Perkinson, who was one of the contenders for the championship, fell to the rear of the field sort of from the start, and then collided again with another driver, and meant basically any points he was going to gain from that first race were gone. Yeah, so for me, I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for Jake Hill.
We know.
Who, yeah, which funny enough races for Rocket. So,
Oh.
yeah,
Oh.
should be Alice's. Yeah, exactly. BMW, he's the only driver for his team. And he finished second, which for him was a really good points haul, because he was one of sort of the 5 that were in contention for the championship. And then, yeah, it was quite a bit of a, I'd say, uneventful race. Some people might disagree, but in my head, it was sort of just your average touring car, because where it's like all 3 races are on the same day, you normally find that the first race is really calm, and then the third race is chaotic. Which
because they know it's the last one for once.
Yeah, because they don't have to save the car for the rest of the day. They don't have to save their car to get more points.
Yeah.
They know that whatever they do, like they've got 2 weeks now to fix their car. Race 2, Jake Hill won. When I tell you, I stood on my feet for the last 5 laps, screaming at the TV as if he could hear me. Because apparently he can. Basically made a move on lap 12 out of 24 and kept it going for the rest of the race. Did an undercut through Luffield and Woodcock, and then completed his pass before Cox. There was 3 to 4 cars going side by side into Brooklands at one point, which never seems to doesn't ever seem to turn out right. And luckily, sort of everyone got through relatively unscathed. So yes, that finished Jake Hill on top, and I will never be able to get over it. Round 3, so that was the last race, with chaos. Absolute chaos.
I can imagine.
It was bumper cars galore. If you had a front bumper and someone had a rear bumper, you was touching. I think there was at one point, no word of a lie, there was 6 cars, all literally bumper to bumper, pushing each other around.
Oh my god!
What the fuck?
I know. So Tom Ingram won race 3, which was a pretty big thing for him. It was quite good for his points thingy. I got here. Josh took one of the drivers, made contact, and he basically squeezed one of the other drivers into the wall. So he kind of pulled over, swerved back over, and then came back in again and pushed him, basically squeezed in between him and the pit wall.
In Silverstone?
Yeah.
On the main street?
So it's the old, it's the national circuit.
The national straight,
So, so sort of flipped each other, and then he ended up swerving back over and almost taking out another driver. So that was heart racing sort of things. Jake Hill, who's the race 2 winner, had quite heavy contact with Gordon Shedden. And without it seeming like I'm going on about Jake Hill, because he had a spectacular weekend.
Who's your favourite driver in British touring cars?
Nicholas Hamilton, I think.
Right answer.
Thank you. So he went from 8th, because it was a partial reverse grid, and they drew it at 8th position, so switched around that way. He went from 8th, dropped down to 13th in the first lap, and then finished it in 4th.
Oh damn!
Nice.
Yeah, so he had a
good.
very good. Bearing in mind, it was chaotic, and they only have sort of, I think it was 24, 25 laps. I might be wrong. To sort of do a 13th full recovery.
That's insane.
Yeah,
That's
it was very good.
I do have a question, by the way.
Yeah.
As somebody that's never watched British touring cars in their life,
Mhm.
purely because I don't have the mental capacity to keep up with multiple motorsporting championships, and Celeste keeps testing that and putting
I
me
was
on
going to
to
say you're
more.
missing out.
Keeps putting me onto more, and I am gradually expanding my horizons to adapt the brain. So you got to explain this to somebody that's never watched British touring cars. Why do they do 3 races in one day?
It's just they do so throughout the year they have 30 rounds, so 30 races. Yeah, so they'll do 10 circuits, like 10 different places. So there's like Snetterton, which I know is your local one.
Snake
Brands
boys.
Hatch, Brands Hatch they do 2 because the circuit gets split into an Indy track and then the full Grand Prix, which is what the F1 used to race in once upon a time. So actually Brands Hatch is it's really good to go to, because if you go to the Indy, there's like one stand that you pay £10 for, and you basically have a full view of the entire circuit.
Oh.
So yeah,
love that.
it's
That's
so
so
affordable.
nice.
It's like one of those ones that if you're wanting to get into motorsport for the first time, it's a really it's a really friendly sort of vibe to go
Yeah.
for.
Is
Really,
that why you're going on the Saturday and the Sunday? So you've got 3 races one day, 3 races the next.
No. So it's qualifying on the Saturday and then all 3 races on Sunday.
Oh, right.
Ah.
But it
How
works
does that
out.
work with the qualifying then? Do they
So-
qualify 3 times or?
So it's sort of they have 2 practice sessions and
Yeah.
then qualifying in the afternoon. But then they have all the support races, have some qualifying, some of them are racing on that first, like on the Saturday as well. But I don't know whether there is a reason for sort of for having
Yeah.
races.
yeah,
But
Isn't-
I think it's just to get it sort of like races up.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
nice though. I like
Isn't
it.
the quali? So it's like the quali. It makes the race 1 grid, and then
Yeah.
the race 2 grid is the race 1 result, and then what is it?
So qualifying sets race 1.
Mhm.
And then race 2 is the results from race 1. I believe there's a partial grid reversal. I think it's from the top 10. No, it might be top 12. Then they draw a ball, and then say if they draw like number 6, then the top 6 are reverse gridded.
Oh,
So,
that's
and then-
cool. I
yeah.
like that.
yeah, so it's really, you sort of sometimes miss it on track. Sort of they'll say it over the louds, like the tannoys and that lot. But you sometimes mix it, so you're like, oh yeah, my man's gonna start on P1 and then he's starting P8, and you're like, wait, what?
What? Yeah.
It means that it just spices it up a little bit, really.
Yeah, that's fun. I
They've
like
gone
that.
into the hybrid era, so with all the climate change thing, they've
Mhm.
started their hybrid thing. So basically, it's kind of like Formula E, I believe. No, it might not be. Might it be something else? Hang on.
I think you're thinking of like the touring car, like the World Touring Cars Championship.
Yeah, so basically, it used to be before the hybrid era. If you came first, you'd have the maximum. They had blocks of weight. But if you came first, you'd have the most amount of
Success
weight.
Ballast.
Yeah,
It's
you'd
in
have the
DTM.
most amount of weight put into your car, and then
Yeah.
whoever came last has no weight put into their car.
Yeah.
So now they've changed it so that the hybrid era, you get a certain amount of like laps that you can do as hybrid. So
Oh.
everyone gets 22 laps of hybrid. So if you're at the
Yeah.
back of the grid, you can do your entire race with like X power basically. But if you
Uh-huh.
finish first, you're only allowed 7 laps.
This is so interesting.
Oh, I love that.
Oh.
This is
So
really
Jake,
cool.
Yeah, so Jake Hill finished first in the second race. So for the third race, he had 7 laps of this hybrid power, and he was defending against 3 drivers that basically had 22 laps of this hybrid
Yeah.
power, and
Jeez.
still
Bloody
managed to
hell.
finish fourth.
That's
That's
insane.
incredible.
Yeah, it's a really good sort of like initiative, and sort of like it just makes the racing sort of a bit more fair, so you don't constantly have
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
the
people.
Yeah.
entire time.
Mhm.
Which sounds
I know.
good.
I
Yeah,
know they use Success Ballast in DTM, and sometimes it's a little bit like off considering they're all different manufacturers.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the few touring cars, like British touring cars races I've watched, I've loved.
Yeah, it's really good.
Great racing.
But so for touring cars, their championship standings going into the final race weekend in 2 weeks. In first place is Ash Sutton at the moment. He's on 345 points. In second place is Jake Hill. He is on 340 points. So there is 5 points between second and first going into the final race weekend. And then between second and third, in third place is Tom Ingram, who won race 3.
Why does
He's
that
on-
name feel so recognisable? I'm going to have to Google him.
Yeah.
He's I mean, I know him from just watching it. Touring cars before. He's a very well known and respected racer.
He's really nice man. He's on 338 points. So between second and third, there is 2 points. Between first and third,
I don't recognise him. Why do I recognise the name?
This is a quick question.
7 points.
7 points, yeah.
So like in F1 they get like manufacturer points. Do they get that in touring cars? And B, is that decided like via the driver standings or like because I know some people have like 3 people on their team, and then as you said, like some people have 1 people on their team. It's like,
so basically, I'm just looking it up because I weren't sure off the top of my head, but so it says for the race weekend format, Saturday there are 2 free practices, 40 minutes, and 1 qualifying session of 30 minutes. You just set the fastest time. You don't have Q1, Q2, Q3. You just go out. You set your fastest lap.
So it's like Formula E in that sense.
Yes.
Just without the battles.
Yeah. And so the point system is for the top 15 finishers. So it's a lot more sort of like.
Oh yeah, that's kind of the way that
points.
Bikes do that.
Yeah, so it's 20 points to first, 17, 15, 13, 11, and then 10 to 1 for the last 10 sort of things. Yeah. Method of scoring is also to be applied to independent drivers and team championships and the overall team. So yeah, so it's not manufacturer, it's just constructors.
Yeah.
It's constructors one. But then they have an independent drivers championship. So there's so obviously you have sort of the quick fit teams, you have the Halfords teams, you have I think it's Team Hard, Rich Energy have a team which I don't advocate for. Yeah, I don't advocate for, but
don't worry, we have that in BSB as well.
Yeah, but the only benefit they have going for them is they have the only female driver on their grid.
Oh,
so yeah, but yeah, so I believe, I don't want to say it was Tom Ingram because I don't think it is, but that championship I think is also going down to the line, the independent one. So yeah, sort of, I think for the last sort of 2 or 3 years, touring cars is going down to the wire.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Alice.
Yeah, it's 3 now. It's 3-2. They got a penalty.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, England scored a penalty.
Alice.
Let's go! My brother's watching it, so like I can hear little bits over my headphones.
Mason scored.
Mason Mount scored the second one, and Harry Kane just scored the penalty.
Oh, right, I need to
My
put this game
penalty
back on.
merchant, let's go.
I need to put this game back on. Hold on.
Yeah, it's really spicy. Because now both England and Germany got a penalty.
Oh my god, Jamal has gone off as well.
There's one more sort of thing with the touring cars that sort of stands them apart as a championship, in that they have something called the Jack Sears Trophy.
Yeah.
And basically this is a trophy that if you don't score a podium throughout the season, you go into this pool basically.
Yeah.
For the Jack Sears Trophy.
Oh, that's so cute.
That's really
yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, it's sort of like not a commiseration. It's not, but yeah. Yeah, he's just. It's a good series.
Yeah, I like that. That's really nice.
But from what
I'm gonna watch this next season.
Yeah.
I'm fully.
But
It's really good.
It is
I
really
watched,
good.
I watched a lot of it last year because you and our good friend Owen got us into it. So.
Yeah, so
I'm watching
their
this next
support.
season.
They have a really good support race system as well.
I have to go watch it because Katie's already said that she's dragging me to all of the races. So
Yeah.
I have to watch it next year.
Exactly. So their support races, they have British Formula 4, they have Ginetta Juniors, they have Porsches, the Mini Challenge, and then depending on different races, sometimes they have different ones that fill in. British Formula 4 has the McLaren junior development driver. I'm gonna butcher his name. Ugo. So he's actually doing his third in the championship in his first
He's young,
year.
isn't he?
Yeah, I think he turned of age to be able to race in British Formula 4 a week before the first race.
Young, because that's the same as
15, I think.
Antonelli did. Antonelli?
Yeah.
Kimi, is it Kimi Antonelli?
Oh,
I don't know if I'm right with that. The Mick Junior, I want to say he is. I think he did the same.
Yeah, so it's very good.
Alex, are you okay?
I've just noticed Sebastian Vettel in the background.
What? Is it not correct? What do you mean?
No, I just noticed Sebastian Vettel in the background.
What? But you mean this? Yeah, he's been there, and his helmet. His
No, I was
Japanese
just mind that.
helmet
I was just listening, absorbing the information, and I was looking about between all three of you, and I looked to Celeste, and I just saw Sebastian Vettel. I was like,
yeah, he's there, and his helmet design of Japan is there as well.
For God's sake. Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
I was gonna say, is I saw that one of the Ginetta's championship is leaving.
Yes, so I believe it is. It's one of the Ginettas. I'm not sure whether it's the juniors.
Oh, yeah, I don't know which one.
Or the seniors. I believe it's the seniors. And they interviewed sort of the head of I think it's Hoka, I think it's called, who basically run the touring cars and all their sport races. And he said that it's sad to see them go, but it's a really, really good opportunity, and they're really scouting for another sort of junior championship, because he said at the end of the day, motorsport is built on junior championships.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So to have another one circling around in Britain would be really sort of good for the world of motorsport, which I fully agree with, because it's not just for British drivers.
Mm-hmm.
Ugo is American. I think there's Hungarian drivers in the mini challenge.
Yeah.
So many people come over to do the touring cars and their support races. It's a really good idea of getting more people, sort of more points to be able to then go up into.
Yeah, I think also, I think it's really good to get experience. So when I was searching for media jobs before, a lot of the ones that were coming up were from Mini Challenge, from Ginetta, and it's really good for young people to get themselves into it, because it's not something that has so much pressure on it. It's good to get it out there, but it's a place to get experience. And I think it's an important part of motorsport, and it'd be a shame to see them, completely go.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are we getting on to?
Well, if we're keeping on the four wheels,
we can do the quiz.
I delved into a new realm this weekend.
Oh yes, finally she's
learned
joining.
Something new this weekend.
Alice is finally joining the endurance.
I had no idea what the fuck I was watching. I was confused as fuck as why there's so many different looking cars just driving around, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I did not bear in mind I was at work as well, so I was doing my work and I had my phone propped up. So a lot of the time I was just listening, and I was like, I have no fucking clue what's going on. This does not make sense to me. I am really.
You're gonna love it.
But it was
once
good.
You get really into it.
It was good. Me and Celeste are gonna go to some races next year as well. Hopefully Katie, hopefully Naomi as well, if they'd like to join.
Sounds good.
So,
World of Endurance is beautiful.
I love endurance.
It was very fascinating, and I feel like once I actually understand it more, I'll enjoy it more, kind of thing. But
yeah, definitely.
And they somehow trusted me to make the notes for this after watching the highlights.
You got this.
There's literally just 2 points for each class. Oh, there's 3 points for LMP3. I don't know the difference between any of these. What the hell's LMGTE? Why?
So that's the GT cars.
Are they the 2-seater cars? but have a
Yes.
seat removed.
They're not.
No, that's the
They're
LMPs.
called
No, the
just
actual
GT.
cars, the car-looking things. The ones that actually
Yeah,
look like cars and
GTs.
not spaceships.
That's
Yeah,
that's.
GTs.
Do you see the car in the background here?
The pretty cars.
That's the GT car.
Okay, got it. The
Like
other
the normal,
the other
the
two,
normal racing car.
the other two look like
GTs.
spaceships. I can't look at them seriously.
Yeah, oh, that's the LMPs for sure.
Yeah.
No. I love LMP2. LMP3, oof,
LMP2,
gets on my nerves.
but
It just
LMP2
causes
is-
traffic. Just causes traffic and chaos.
They just look like spaceships. People always say Formula E look like spaceships, but these look like fucking
Just,
spaceships.
just wait till you get into the WEC and see the hypercars for next year, because those
Oh,
things
yeah.
are even worse.
So
Right.
excited.
Okay, right. What did I make notes on? Okay, right. LMGTE. I put car number 57, Conrad Greenwald? We should have got
Get ready for Alice butchering some names.
We should have learned how to say these names. Spins under the yellow flag. And that's the close recovery from Sarah Bovey that you may know of as well.
Scary moment there.
Where he, if you didn't watch it, basically spins and Sarah Bovey comes around, car number 83, and probably missed him by an inch.
Yes.
And that's why we should have more women drivers in, because, you know, clearly they can avoid collisions. So
I think it was just it's scary because we know what happened, and
Yeah,
we've
so
seen
for the people
that.
who didn't watch
We've seen
it,
that
was
multiple
up on-
times.
It was
And
up
like,
on Rebellion, and he spun out and basically came back on the track where cars were like
Nyum.
right at him. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and like we've seen it even happen in GT before. You know, we saw it with Jack Aiken in Spa, and I think that was
Yes.
one of the most scary
Yeah.
periods
So
of my
scary.
life
I think-
while watching motorsport.
I think it's also proven that sort of like the changes that they tried to make to the track hasn't worked, because they made
Yeah.
like these changes to the top of Erosion that look like to sort of avoid these like spins and collisions, but it still is happening.
It can't. You can't. You know, you can change. You can make changes to make sure, say, they don't get hit on the first time they go around.
Yeah.
But it doesn't change
There's
anything.
still cars coming back on track.
Yeah.
And, that
And
is
I think
the problem.
that's the nature of the circuit, and that
I mean,
won't
if you
change.
can put somehow some sort of gravel trap there that keeps the car like
Stuck.
sort of
Yeah, I mean,
beached
a lot
somewhere.
of Spa has gravel traps now
Yeah.
due to the endurance bikes going there. So that could be a good idea, but a lot of those ideas were made by the late head of the circuit, unfortunately, and they were all proposed by her, and millions were put into that. And I guess, you know, it's difficult now because maybe now we don't have someone who cares about the circuit as much and just thinks money.
Mhm.
Money.
So yeah,
It's a rich
scary
man's
actually.
world.
That's the
Sure
point.
is.
Scary.
The only other point I've got for LMGTE is another spin and a close recovery. I can't say his name.
You got this.
No. You'll know why I can't say his name.
Yeah, no, I know which one.
I know it is.
Pierre Errett. Spin close recovery from Christian Reed in car numero 77. A very, very similar incident once again. Not as close, but similar situation.
Yeah.
Where on
Cute
track
little
was it?
spin. I didn't write that much, babe. I didn't write that much.
Just
Do you
curious.
know how difficult it is to sit and try and write notes from something when all you can hear is three other women in Europe going
Oopsie.
Alice this, Alice that, Alice this, Alice that. I'm like, once, guys, I am writing. So moving on.
Notice how she complains about it on here now, but she didn't tell us to shut up at the time.
Exactly.
I just let you
True.
guys get on what you were on about. You were on about Part of them stuff, so I let you guys do your work. LMP3. Why did I put 15 and 7? I'm assuming... Oh, I cannot say that name.
I love how you just went LMP3.
No, because I read the name and I was
Sums
like...
up LMP3 to be fair.
Yes.
No,
Sums
that
it
is
up.
literally... Horse... I can't say it. Horse Felbermeyer Jr.
Sure.
Absolutely
What
not.
is
But okay.
what is it? What is
No, I
it?
don't even know what you're trying to say.
I don't know.
Felb. Felbermayr.
Alex, I'm dyslexic.
Horst Feldmeier.
L
Felbermer.
Felbermeyer.
Horst
Maybe.
Felbermeyer Jr. I'm assuming there's a
Oh, and
senior
junior.
somewhere.
Oh,
I
wow.
imagine.
Anyway, tapping the rear of Maurice Smith and subsequently spinning him
I
around.
don't think
As
the
you-
drink is helping.
No, it's not. Oh, shit.
Subsequently spinning him around in the process, as you would if you rear-ended somebody. Going up the bum is not a good thing, or unless that's what you're into, but not in the world of cars. It's not.
Nope.
I had to preference
Want to do
that.
this right now?
In the world of cars,
Swiftly moving
it's
on.
not. There was a similar collision, just much worse, with Alice. I'm Alice. I was not Alice.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is chaos already.
Alex Cabadia, who caught the grass going into. Couldn't tell you where. I
Yeah.
didn't write that down either. Caught the grass, proceeded to rear end James Littlejohn.
Up the bum again.
Yeah, literally ran him up the bum, took him straight off track into the gravel. What did I do? I am reading from my notes. And there was also a contact, car number 27 contacted with. By the way, I'd like to point out that I was trying to find this man's name on the Wikipedia so I could get the correct spelling of it, and they tried to tell me he didn't exist. So with
Not
Philippe,
ideal.
Made no
Philippe-
comment.
Philippe Cimadono.
I think something like that.
Chimadono.
I can tell you this was actually bus stop.
It's
This is back
French.
solid.
It is.
I could, yeah.
Causing the spin in the bus stop
Nice.
stop
Almost.
chicane.
Yes, there you go.
And he was penalised for, obviously, you know,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much ruined the man's race. Called it a day there. Fuck. Anyway, LMP2.
Just ignore me. I didn't say anything.
LMP2. I found out they're the fast ones.
They are. Well,
They are the
kinda.
fast ones.
Well,
Unless you're
No,
talking
They
about
finished.
hypercar.
But there was
They-
no hypercars there. Don't start
No,
throwing other
Elms-
names.
Elms-
Not
into
not
it.
in ELMS. Not in
In
every
Exactly.
single series.
Why would you throw loopholes into this? Leave it alone.
You will learn. You will learn.
Okay.
You got this. You're doing amazing.
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
I should have been more descriptive here because I wrote intense battle between Fabio Sciarra in car number 43 and Nicolas Lapierre in
Lapierre.
37.
Lapierre.
Why I didn't write any more information on this, I have no clue. Because could I tell you what intense battle that I'm on about? No, I could not. Why? Memory of a sieve. I literally had the memory of it. No, I remember because I remember they were going 3 cars wide into thing, and I was like, oh, a bit dangerous. Don't do that, bruv. And yeah, and they were literally going side to side by side the whole time. And fucking like, meow, meow, meow. Yeah, it was just very intense. Okay, watch it. My description of it is not great.
In like a few years' time, you're gonna understand endurance racing, and you're gonna watch this
Yeah,
back.
you're gonna be like,
what the fuck was I on about?
And then the last point I put was the first win for United Motorsports, and they finished ahead of Inter Europol Competition in second and Prima Racing in third. And
What
Prima,
a race from now.
if Prima, what I read, this could be false
Really good race.
because I don't understand the point system here, is that apparently if Prima finished second, they could have got the title
Oof.
there in
Oof.
Spa.
Mm,
Question mark?
yeah. No, that's correct.
Nice. So, either way, they're one step closer anyway to winning the championship in
Yes.
Portimao.
I love
in a
Portimao.
few
Oh, that
weeks'
circuit is so
time.
beautiful.
You should see it in
Celeste
real
won't
life.
drive us down to Portimao though, so slight issue.
What did you say?
Celeste won't drive us down to Portimao.
No.
Portimao.
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 Okay.
Portimao.
I love Portimao. I went.
Are
I visited.
you
That was the first.
disrespecting my Portuguese?
No, I just.
No,
Ah,
I
because I
didn't.
desculpa, eu não falo português.
Sí, parlo italiano.
Okay. I don't know what you're saying.
So,
No
surprisingly
hablo
enough,
español.
if I was going to say surprisingly enough, I will be forced to watch the last race of ELMS because I'm in fact in
You will.
Celeste's bed. So I think even if I sleep in Stefano's room and Celeste and
You will
Katie
still
sleep
have to
in
watch it.
Celeste's bed, Celeste and Katie will come into Stefano's room and
Yes.
force me to watch it, which I'm not mad about because at least I'll have someone to tell me what the fuck is going on this time.
Yeah, I'll explain
Me
to
too.
you. Don't
It's
worry.
Me
this
too.
weekend as well.
Alice.
The IMSA finale is this weekend as well.
Yeah.
If you want to watch
True, we can get more endurance in.
No.
that. No, please, Alex is in it.
You're gonna
Alex
love
who?
Alex.
Alex
This
is
is so good.
Alex who?
Lynn.
Alex win.
Alex will win.
I love Alex Lynn so much.
Honestly, for everyone, if you get
Yeah.
into endurance racing, give it a chance because it's so good.
Endurance is like another level. I love endurance.
It's-
It
But
was
amazing.
very, very good racing. Racing. I've lost the freezing flag again. I was
Oh,
I need a
thoroughly.
drink refill.
I was thoroughly impressed by what I saw. I do send the
Good.
greatest of apologies to Celeste for ever being horrible about supporting other racing series that aren't my Formula babies. I'm very, very sorry. Yada yada yada. I'm still not watching NASCAR, and I will watch IndyCar on mute.
Why?
Alright.
The Americans.
Part of the
Yeah,
entertainment
it's
is the
American.
commentary.
It's not. It's
You're
not.
gonna
It's
watch
not
WEC as well.
Americans. It's
next
not.
year.
It's not Americans.
It's American commentators.
It is the commentator's accent that I just
No, because-
can't settle with.
Part of
You
it
can watch
is
Dutch commentary,
that's part of the funniness.
Yes, but I just personally, for me, I don't know if anyone else gets this. I don't know whether it's because I might potentially be ADHD. I don't know.
Maybe.
My therapist mentioned it a couple of times, and I just kind of went whoop, straight over my head. I'm not listening to you, babes. Sorry.
ADHD.
So I don't know whether it's the fact that because of that, if I don't want to hear something, I'm shutting out, and they'll be saying something, and I'll be watching it, and it could go in. It could just go straight in one ear out the other, but it gradually makes me more and more annoyed and irritable. And then if someone said anything to me, I'd be like, "Shut the fuck up, and leave me alone."
I was gonna say I could commentate it for you.
This is like
Yeah, we
the
I
should
think
do
that would
live
annoy you even more.
The first proper time I watched IndyCar was outside of Spoons. And
Yes.
the reason why I was enjoying watching it is because I was talking to an Italian man at the same time, so I wasn't actually listening to it. So
That was Dutch commentary as well, so because it was on my phone.
Was that?
perfect.
I mean, we watched it with Antonia.
We
True, we
did.
watched it with Antonia defeating. Yeah.
We did watch with
With the
Anthony with
Costa.
Man.
I can't say I watched any of
That picture is the best picture ever. Just saying.
it. It is a very cute photo.
I love that
Pop up.
picture.
And that's.
Can you do
Tony
the other
watching
side?
with us. Pop up.
There you go.
And it's me sat with Antonio watching
Watching
IndyCar.
IndyCar.
Because
was-
he asked how Felix was doing, because Felix was on pole that day, and he went, "Oh, how's Felix?" And I was like, "Not doing well."
No, he was
then-
not doing well. He had a terrible strategy that day.
And then he was like, "What's happening?" And I was like, "Oh,
That was-
One of the
Stop
nicest
the lead
people I've
again.
ever met.
No, it's literally the most
He was
wholesome
so
moment
nice.
because we'd gotten outside the XL, and our friend Chloe Hickman was like, "Oh, me and Kelsey waited around here last time, and like this is where all the drivers and everyone come out, and like team principals and stuff." And we were like, "Oh, cute!" Like
we were also deciding where to eat
Yeah.
because that took a very long time."
Yeah, so we were like, "Oh, well, we can sit around out here because when we were in the paddock earlier on that day, we completely missed Stoff." And Katie is a
Yeah.
massive fan of Stoff, so we were like, "Right, we'll wait to see if Stoff comes out." So we were just chilling, and like Sam Bird came by, so we like stopped him,
That's
had a
cute.
little conversation with him, like, "Hey Sam, are you alright?" kind of thing. Just had a little conversation with him, took a photo with him because we didn't get to meet. Did we meet him? We might have met him that day.
We did. Well, I met him, but we were like, he DNF'd, and we were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it's okay. It'll be better
Mhm.
tomorrow." And then he goes, "Can't get any fucking worse."
Yeah.
And he broke his hand the next
He
day.
broke his hand.
Um,
Poor guy.
Yeah, and then we were still waiting around anyway to see if like stuff came out. Like a couple other drivers came out. Some walked by, some were like said hey, and some we got photos with. And then Antonio was walking by, but we'd sat and spoken to him before, so we were like kind of like, you know, we'll let him get on with his day.
It's
We were
okay.
like, yeah. At this point, Naomi sat on the floor watching Indy
IndyCar and the
Celeste.
Spa, 24 hours.
So he walks by and we're just like hey, and he was like hey, and then he kind of looked and was like, oh, how are you lot? And we were like, oh, we're all right. And he just came over to have a chat. And then he looked down at Naomi's and he was like, what are you watching? Are you watching IndyCar? And then just like leans over and he's like, just stood there watching for like 10 minutes.
And there's a brilliant picture. Well, there's a video. I can't remember who got it, whether it was like Kelsey.
I think Kelsey got it, yeah.
That's the weirdest picture of me to exist. I just go,
You just start asking questions and stuff, and then later on Ian James came out, Stoff and Nick came out, and we went and eventually had dinner. It was a good day. It was a really good day.
It was a really good day.
best day.
So yeah, maybe I've watched the IndyCar twice. Hang on, what did Callum used to race in last year?
IndyCar. Wait,
IndyCar.
yeah.
No.
Intercontinental
GT World.
GT World Challenge.
I've watched that.
That's great. That's also brilliant.
I watched that once. I don't remember any of it.
Really good.
You're
And
watching
I was watching F1 at the same time because I said to
You're
Callum,
watching
I'll
more
watch
of
it.
that.
Okay.
You are watching more of that. It's brilliant.
Yes, sir. So before we go on to Two Wheels, anyone else got anything to say about Four Wheels before I whip out a Quizarino?
Do we want to do the news now? Four-wheel news?
We
can do the news.
can hit with you in the news. And
Okay.
hang on, and now we pass you over to our news anchor, Naomi Newman.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll do the news from last week. New F1 calendar has been released. 24
God.
races. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's too much.
It's too much. Way too much.
And there's 3 American races, which is very unnecessary. But hey, I'm sure we'll rant about that another day. Nicholas Latifi is leaving Williams.
Yes, go
so that
Tiffy.
means either
He's
I think for me, I think there's 2 people that are now fighting for that seat, and that's Nick DeVries and Logan Sargent.
Again.
Actually, I doubt. I think they'll go Nick, but
I think they'll go Nick.
you know, that's not confirmed. Yuki's confirmed for AlphaTauri. That escaped my brain really quickly then. And Monaco is staying on the calendar until 2025. Beloved
I am
Monaco.
very
And
happy
what
with
isn't
that. I know it's
staying on the
controversial,
calendar?
but- Yes.
Goodbye, Paul Ricard.
Bye.
You piece
Bye,
of
bye.
shit.
We will
Yes,
not miss
thank
you.
I would happily have a
Um,
French Grand Prix as long as it is not held at Paul Ricard.
At least we're not going to get
Oh.
those bloody gorilla trophies.
No.
I
Oh my
don't know
God,
what they
horrible.
were.
Actually,
Oh
I
my
mean, I
God.
love you, Paul Ricard. Thank you for giving me double Mercedes podium.
Bring back Paul.
But it's time
yeah,
to go now.
Bring back Magnicor. Anyway,
Back Malaysia.
some endurance news. So Spa 24 hours this year has had to change.
That was
Next
interesting.
year.
Their
Which-
statement was actually hilarious. Like,
That was really funny.
They were like,
It was so,
circumstances.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
basically, for people who don't know, the F1 calendar came out, and the Belgium Grand Prix was at the same date as the 24 hours of Spa, which is obviously impossible.
They should have just done it at the
So-
same time.
Yeah, so the 24 hours of Spa got like rescheduled, and it just put out a tweet because of circumstances.
it was so.
AKA
Yeah.
the F1.
Who races
But
at
yeah, so
24
now-
hours of Spa?
like so many people.
A lot. Of
I mean, like,
people.
can't-
what is
Who
it a
doesn't?
championship? Question mark. Part of the championship?
GT Will
World.
Challenge.
Oh, that thing I watched. Got it.
Yes.
Callum.
Yeah. Callum.
Callum when he was in iLinks. Do you remember when we watched? Well, you know when Jack crashed with Callum's teammate. You're right there.
I think she finished her one.
I'm sad.
This is my second one.
But yeah, my drink's downstairs. BMW Motorsport has announced their hypercar lineup. It's
I'm so
Connor Di
excited.
Filippi, Philip Eng, Augusto Farfus. So you pronounce that, I actually don't know.
So excited.
And Nick
Can't wait.
Yellerly. Really rate Nick Yellerly. I'm glad he gets to have
Yeah,
his
very
go
deserved
in-
for all of them.
Oh, absolutely. So they'll be competing in IMSA, and I'm pretty sure that's the lineup for IMSA. I think they're competing in WEC as well. And the livery is stunning. If you haven't seen it,
it's so
go
beautiful.
look.
It's really cool.
And Cadillac have also announced their IMSA lineup. They announced their WEC lineup a bit before, which does include Alex in, which is why I know that. But they also, their IMSA lineup is Alexander Sims and Pipo Derani. Simsy!
Pick up Sims.
Hang on.
Oh.
Oh, I don't have my hat with me. Don't. I don't have it with
I
me.
have it somewhere.
This is my only cap I have with me. That is unfair.
It doesn't fit over my hat, Sam. But you can
wait, what's
Alexander
his
Sims
signature?
Naomi.
What's
This is on
that one?
side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to hold it, otherwise it falls off.
I don't have it with me. It's at home. Unfair.
Let's go, Alexander Sims. And I'm definitely keeping this
Sims.
back for my bad boy Lucas DeCressy.
Oh my god.
Yes.
And
Put it up here.
the second hypercar will be Sebastian Bourdais and Renke van der Zande.
Sebastian Vettel.
No.
Bourdais.
Which they will also
Sebastian Buemi.
It's a Bourdais.
be they'll also be supported, and this is the best I think
I
for
was
me.
supported.
They'll be supported.
Sorry,
They'll be
Buemi.
supported in Daytona by the one and only Colton Herta. So
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm
That's
very happy
very
about
cool.
but that also leads on to this week's news.
This week's
The FIA have formally declined or reject whatever Herta's super license request.
Super license.
I was talking on the sorry guys, I thought it was logged into my YouTube account. I was logged into the Parc Femme YouTube account when I made a comment in the European Le Mans series YouTube comments thing. I had a lovely conversation with some great people, and they thought I was wonderful. So if you somewhat subscribe,
If you were there.
hello.
If you came through there, hi.
If you came from there, hello. Yeah, we were doing full-on conversations about like super license points and stuff, and it really made me think. IndyCar is a paid motorsport, right? Paid motorsport.
Yep.
You get paid to race in IndyCar.
That's true, yeah.
Formula 2 is a pay motorsport. You pay money. You pay $2 million.
Yeah.
This is why
Tell me
IndyCar's
why
better.
you get more super license points racing in F2 than you would in IndyCar. What do you want?
This is to carry on from that point. This is actually something I wanted to talk about. But I want to talk it in another podcast when we hopefully have a guest.
Willpower?
Yeah, big up.
Willpower. Pick up willpower. I love that, man.
But basically, I think, well, the FIA have realised that IndyCar is a way better passage for the younger drivers because they are stopping Formula 2 drivers from testing IndyCar in mid-season. And they're realising that, and they are now being like, wait, we need to carry on this European pathway to and it's stupid because Christian and Callum both proved that they can fucking do it. And I don't hear any difference. IndyCar is bloody amazing.
It's such a good
I will never shut up
championship.
about it because I love it so much, and it's so underrated, and people think it's shit, and it's not.
It's really not.
And anyway, before I fight someone,
Me? Am I the drama? I don't think I'm the drama.
I the drama.
But again, indie news. Jimmy Johnson won't be continuing full time next year.
Even I'm
it's probably
emotional.
for
I
the
don't
best.
even watch it, and I'm emotional.
It's probably for the best.
yeah.
I'm not. It's probably for the best.
It is probably for the best, but we'll miss him anyway. He's
But
a
he will be
legend.
competing in some of it.
Yeah, he'll still do
yeah.
some tracks.
And then some W Series news. Ela Agren will be. Oh, you're a strange being. Ela Agren will be replacing the injured Teresa
It's
Babikova.
cringe, old Bill being. That's what Naomi wanted to
I
say.
didn't say that. I
Naomi
didn't say
wanted to
that.
say.
Alice is just fully ignoring the fact she just got
She's just
old.
trying to be down with the kids. She can't be.
Oh no.
But yeah, so Elagren is replacing the injured Teresa Babikova in Singapore, and Trident announced that Gabriel Bortoleto will be joining their team in.
I am so
2023.
happy for him. He's been doing so good in regional.
And I did forget.
Who did you forget?
Jehan is testing the McLaren in Florida.
Yes.
Jehan.
I did forget Jehan.
Wow.
Or
Go on,
JS.
Jehan. Pop off, my king.
Who else? Question mark?
Alice has a quiz first. Thank you very much.
Quiz?
Oh yes, I
Question
do
mark?
apologize.
Wow. Naomi forgot about the quiz, so -1 point to Naomi already.
Yes,
No.
I agree.
No.
Minus
Yeah.
1 point for Naomi.
Oh,
Minus
I
one
agree
pound
with
for
that.
Naomi. Naomi gets no points.
Ollie Swift, help me here.
Naomi is banned from receiving points.
Oh, that's harsh.
Bit far.
That's
No.
far.
Do not turn Ollie Swift against me. Me and Ollie Swift are now buddies.
What a kid.
He told
Thank
me.
you, Ollie
He
Swift.
complimented my execution of the quiz, and I've never felt more powerful in myself than I ever have in my entire life. As
What
someone-
a
If you
king.
don't know, we posted our quiz on TikTok.
Tickety-tack.
We tagged the Lord Ollie Smith.
King.
The Lord and the
Legend.
Saviour.
So sorry.
Ollie Swift,
Um,
the icon.
And he commented,
Miss the legend.
and he said, "What did he? Are you getting up the direct
I'm
voting?"
getting it up. Oh, we got 2 new followers. Welcome to the Kate. Fucking love Kate.
I do love. Is it Kate from
Follow us on
Formula
the
E?
Kate from Formula E. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, we love Kate.
Ollie Swift commented, so I tagged him and I said, at Ollie Swift F1, I hope I did you proud. Do you think you could have gotten all 5 questions right? Head over to the Parc'd podcast to find out. And he replied saying, exceptionally well hosted. So
Yes,
What a legend!
honestly,
Queen.
anything I do after here, it's in favour of
He's
Ollie Swift.
amazing.
And I
Love
said,
Ollie
this
Swift.
makes my 5-minute tangent about how I love your TikTok so much better, and he liked it. So I have another 5-minute tangent about how much I love you. Ollie
Yeah,
Swift.
here we are again.
So everyone got boards at the ready.
I've got a notepad.
I got a notepad.
I got my phone.
Oh, are you typing in your notes again like a little bitch?
Yes, we have my notes up again.
Okay, right.
Wait, let me get my no.
So
Katie
Katie wasn't here when I was saying this earlier, but there is like how many points did we say? Like 16, 18 points up for grab today.
I
A lot
was
of
not
points.
listening then, to be honest.
A lot of points.
Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are you trying to
5,
kill me off?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 16.
Have you met me? I could sit there and talk to you for like an hour about a certain thing, and then you'd ask me the most simplest question, and I'd be like, nah,
No.
no clue.
I'm gonna get my notes pad up
Who
and keep
has
an eye on
7
your
more
points.
championships? No clue. No clue. No clue. Clue about the new
Clearly
hybrid
it's Max
system.
Verstappen. Okay, so
That wasn't funny.
Celeste,
We all just went.
Naomi,
Right.
Katie.
What is my name?
I'm keeping track of your points. So, question number 1.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, just a heads up, okay?
Question
So-
number 1.
These questions are all based around night races, as obviously I did a Singapore one last
Ooh.
week, and I wanted to keep it on theme, so we're doing night races, as Singapore was the inaugural night race.
Interesting.
So, question number 1. How
Yeah.
many German... Why did I write 2000... Wait, hang on a second.
I'm already
This is
confused.
Okay.
This is going amazing. Well done.
Okay, question...
We've had drinks as well. This is not good.
Question number 1. How many German drivers were on the grid for Formula One's first ever night race in Singapore 2008?
Okay,
Okay.
give me a second.
Okay. We'll see.
I'm going to get up the answer in the sense that I can tell you exactly who they were.
Fuck! Is he German?
Is he German?
I don't know.
I didn't know if he
I
was-
haven't watched 2000.
Ooh, is he German?
I don't know.
Can
Does everybody
I
else?
want
Then yeah.
I want to
I
help.
want to know
Who?
what you're on about.
Who?
No, he is. Ignore me.
Who?
No.
Who?
Who?
No,
Hey!
I didn't even think he raced that early.
Who?
Go on.
Who?
Oh,
Hülkenberg.
he is German. Yes.
Yes.
Oh my
Okay.
god, guys, I forgot the timer again. Why did nobody tell me?
I don't know.
I'm gonna go that number. It's probably wrong.
I am
Stopwatch. Okay, you got 10 seconds. Okay.
Feels like a lot. I feel like I'm missing someone.
No, I'm.
Your 10
I
seconds
think
are
I've
up.
done too many.
Give me your answers.
I feel like I'm going too little.
I feel like I'm missing one. I got 4.
It is, in fact,
Me.
5.
See, I was missing.
Dude,
Who was I
I got-
missing?
I
You
got
had-
7 to go.
You had
Okay.
you had
Nico.
Nick
Nico.
Nick Heidfeld,
Oh,
Yeah.
wait.
Oh.
Sebastian Vettel,
Obviously.
Yeah.
Nico Rosberg,
Yeah.
Yes.
Adrian Sutil,
Oh.
and
Not Sutil.
the world famous Timo Glock.
Timo Clark. Yeah.
I love Timo.
Oh, I forgot Sutil.
I love Timo so much.
I love how
Oh,
I was
God.
completely wrong in about like 4 of them. I think the only one I got right was I got 2 right, but I still was only 1 off.
I love
Okay.
Timo.
Question number 2. 2021 saw a new night race added to the calendar. Lewis went on to win the race, but by how many seconds? And I've forgotten which race this is on about. What fucking race? Is...
Bahrain.
Thank you, Bahrain.
Jeddah? Alright.
No, Jeddah. A, under my umbrella.
Because
Ella,
we call it Bahrain.
It's Jeddah.
Right.
That was,
so-
that was the whole George Russell.
I just
in a
had
map.
to. I just.
No,
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 no. We don't talk about it. We don't talk
We
about
don't
it. Okay, it's Jeddah because I've done one for
How
each
many
night race of 5.
seconds?
So 2021
seconds?
saw a new night race added to the calendar in Jeddah.
Do we get
Lewis
multiple
went-
choice on this?
No.
Yeah.
Lewis went.
Oh, fuck.
Fine. I will
Sorry.
give you. I will give you multiple choice then. Lewis went
I
on.
forgot the.
Wait, but there was so much that happened in that race. Hold on.
I don't know if the penalty was applied in the race
That's
or
what I
after
was
the race.
thinking.
Okay.
I don't remember.
So okay, right. I'll give you multiple choice. Okay.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
2021 saw a new night race added to the calendar. Lewis went on to win the race, but by how many seconds? And it says to the nearest 10th, but as I'm giving you multiple choice, you just have to get it right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
A, 20.754.
That's a lot.
B, 21.825. Or C, 22.760.
And this man supposedly lost
Hang
the
on.
championship fair and square.
Fuck, thank you.
I think not.
Right, I think then
What?
that the penalty was
Oh,
applied in the
brain
race.
didn't work then. I was like,
I
wait.
was about to say, I was like,
How
who
dare
has
you?
it been?
Wait.
I'm gonna
Oh,
say
stop.
A.
I'm gonna say A.
B.
The
First
only
one.
person is correct is Naomi. It's B. It's 21.825
I remember it being
seconds.
21. For some
Oh,
reason,
I
I
have
just
no
remember it being
idea.
21.
No.
I have no
Because
idea
I
to be
didn't really
honest.
pay that much attention to the time.
I almost went.
was-
I almost went 1 point something seconds because I was like, oh, red flags, blah blah blah, and then I went, wait, no, that happened.
That happened. I didn't know if the penalty was applied in the race or after the race. I was like, what was
I think it was
in
after,
there?
but it still counts.
Yeah,
Right.
it still counts as the gap.
And I
if-
went
yeah.
directly to the F1 website for that statistic, so I didn't get yelled at this time. Anyway, question
Good.
number 3 is a 3-pointer. 3-pointer, a 2-pointer. 2-pointer.
2 point. Yeah.
Bahrain held its first Grand Prix in 2004 and has held one every year on the Grand Prix circuit, except for 2 races. One race was held on their endurance circuit, and one race was
Yeah.
cancelled. Which years were these held? Not
Mm.
held
What do you mean one
technically.
race was cancelled? What do you mean one race was cancelled?
So, Bahrain, since 2004, have held a race every single year, except 1 year
Oh,
because
I
it was
understand, I
cancelled. So
understand, I
the race
understand,
was
I understand.
cancelled, and then, but they have a Grand Prix circuit and they have an endurance circuit, and all the F1
Uh-huh.
races have been on Grand Prix circuits except for one race. So which
Also-
race, which year was
yeah.
that, and then which race was the cancelled year?
Damn.
I think I probably got
You've
it
got
wrong,
between
but
2004 to 2022.
2022.
Well,
So
I
I know
don't
one.
know
So
if
there
I
are obviously there are
too
2
much.
separate years, so you'll get a year, a point for each year.
wait, repeat the question.
Bahrain held its first Grand Prix in 2004 and has held one every year on the Grand Prix circuit, except for
Okay.
2 races. One race was held on the endurance circuit and one race was
Okay.
cancelled. Which
Okay.
years were these?
Okay.
And I will put your
Thank
timer
you.
on now that Naomi's made me restart it again.
I think I've got the endurance, but not the cancelled one.
You don't
I
need,
also
you don't need to
Oh.
specify which way round it is, but the endurance one was... Oh, stop. The endurance one was before the cancelled one. If that's a little tip for you.
Was
a
it?
hint. Yeah,
Oh.
baby.
No, it's the other way.
No,
around.
it was.
I put endurance races 2021 because I thought that was
I
it's a
thought
big one.
2020. Yeah.
no, it's 2020, not 2021.
Are we not
though.
talking about the big?
No, that was the
Oh.
inner circuit.
That's the
Oh,
that's the
then
outer
I don't-
circuit.
Oh yeah, no,
Then-
then I'm
Then I
not.
don't know.
I'm not
Then I
sure
think
on
I only know the
me
cancelled one.
me and Celeste are both on the same.
Yeah, I thought the
No,
COVID
I-
one.
I-
What
I-
happened?
I also said that, but then
Circuit.
if
Oh,
that's
shit.
the inner, that's called the inner circuit. It's not the endurance.
Oh right. Okay, then I
But
only
I
have
also
one
said
answer.
I also said 2020 first.
I got yeah. Okay,
So I
then I
changed,
only have
I
one
changed my
answer.
answer.
I put
Um,
2020 and 2021.
I
So
feel
do I get a
like
point for any?
Celeste should have known the endurance one, seeing as
Oh.
you know, Sebastian Vettel won it. 2011.
7.
2011 is correct for the cancelled
I got
race.
2011.
Yay!
And it was
Wow.
in fact
It was
2010.
protest,
2010
right?
for endurance.
God damn it!
So I
2010.
will give you a full rundown of the Bahrain Grand Prix.
I got 2011.
I got 2011.
I just
I
wrote.
got 2020 as well for the.
I
Um,
almost
circus.
see.
So-
Look at my scribble.
You had, okay, so at the Grand Prix circuit, 2004 through to 2010, Michael Schumacher, Fernando Alonso, Felipe Massa, Jenson Button, and Fernando Alonso then won in 2010 on the endurance circuit. 2011 was then
right.
cancelled, and then from 2012 onwards, every single year we have been
Why
held
was it
at the
cancelled?
Grand Prix circuit.
I think it was
says
protest, right?
cancelled.
There was like
Yeah,
Bahrain
yeah,
protests or something.
in Bahrain.
Yeah, they cancelled it.
I
I don't know what it was
It
about.
was-
Yeah, the 2010 edition of the race saw a different circuit configuration used for the Grand Prix. The endurance circuit layout was used instead of the Grand Prix circuit layout, extending the lap length to 6.299 kilometres. The track was planned to revert back to its original layout for the 2011 edition and did so for the 2012 edition.
What?
I saw the
Formula E
centre.
next year.
I
saw
saw
that.
Yeah.
Felipe Drugovich and Formula E.
Formula E.
So he could be racing in Formula. So this is from Fastest Pit Stop, by the way. Felipe Drugovich could race in Formula E next year with former Formula E champion Lucas de Grassi, saying that he is helping fellow Formula 2 champion to find a seat in the series next year.
Oh.
Solid. I think
Considering
he's,
they're a bit packed already, that
Yeah.
could be interesting.
Right.
I mean, he should be racing, so I'll be happy.
He
if
should
he's
be racing.
going.
Sorry.
I can give you a rundown
Sure.
of the 2011 constellation. And this is from Wikipedia itself. It says, on the 21st of February 2011, it was announced that the 2011 Bahrain Grand Prix, scheduled for the 13th of March, was cancelled due to 2011 Bahraini protests. On the 3rd of June, FIA decided to reschedule the race for the 30th of October. World champion racer Damon Hill called on Formula One not to reschedule, saying that if the race went ahead, we will forever have the blight of association with repressive methods to achieve order. Bernie Ecclestone told the BBC in an interview, "Hopefully there'll be peace and quiet and we can return in the future, but of course it's not on. The schedule cannot be rescheduled without the agreement of the participants. They're the facts." A week after its decision to reschedule the race, Formula One announced the cancellation of the race in 2011.
Damon Hill
Also,
making a good
back then, they
statement
did
there.
listen to the drivers.
And then human
But now we're
rights...
racing on Jeddah.
Yeah. Human
Oh
rights...
my god, I forgot that happened.
Yep.
Human rights activists called for a cancellation of the 2012 Bahrain Grand Prix, which took place on the 22nd of April because of reports of ongoing use of excessive force by authorities and torture and detention. That includes the killing of activist Salah Abbas Habib during a demonstration on the eve of the Grand Prix, as well as the earlier fatal shooting of photojournalist Ahmed Ismail Hassan al-Samadi. I'm really sorry if I butcher that name, I butcher every name. Who was covering a protest against the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Interesting.
Wow.
There you go. Little Bahrain
Very
Grand Prix
interesting.
facts for you.
Yeah.
So that is 1 point to Naomi, 1 point to Celeste. Katie, what did you put
Cheers,
your
my love.
answers?
Wrong.
Okay.
Wrong. What did you put just wrong?
Nah, I put 2020 and 2021 because I got so confused.
Okay, so you can get 2 points for this.
Right.
During the COVID pandemic of 2020, Sorry.
Don't.
Sorry, I
Please
can't-
don't tell me you're going to bring up what I think you're going to bring
I
up.
can't.
Don't bring up this.
We witnessed the Dakar Grand Prix. Sorry,
Oh, no.
sorry. Let me just regain myself. It's not even about my man, but it's just really upsetting to talk about the Dakar Grand Prix.
Okay.
Yeah. Triggering.
During the COVID pandemic of 2020, we witnessed the Sakir Grand Prix, which was an outer circuit track in Bahrain. This was the first race to not feature Lewis Hamilton and Romain Grosjean, if you don't know, since
Big
which Grand Prix?
Oh.
Are you fucking
Damn.
kidding me?
Are you
fucking
kidding me?
Playing this game
You
anymore.
didn't. You said I don't want statistics. I want facts. So I gave you facts.
See, this is where I'm out. There's no.
You
I
wanted
could maybe, like,
facts.
Do the year, but like
Yeah,
If
if you-
someone could at least get a point on.
If you can give me the year, you can have half a point.
Oh my-
I don't know.
I
If
don't
you can
think
give
I
me the
give you a year.
circuit.
I don't know.
Okay, well, do you not know when Lewis Hamilton and Romain Grosjean started in the Formula One?
Alice, I
Are
have
you
a raging
guys
headache.
idiots?
I don't know if
Little
it's
headache
right.
today. I don't know anything.
Well, make a motherfucking guess. Okay.
I'm
Have a
gonna
guess.
go.
I'll repeat it again for you, just so you've got it in your head. During the COVID pandemic of 2020, we witnessed the Sakir Grand Prix, which was an outer circuit track in Bahrain. This was the first race to not feature Lewis Hamilton and Romain Grosjean since which Grand Prix?
Oh, for crying out loud.
Yeah, but I
Okay,
don't
no,
know
I'm wrong with that.
season.
Wait 1 sec. Let's do that again.
I'm just gonna go random track. Let's say
I will
this,
tell you.
because
I will give you one hint that the last track for
Yeah.
Lewis is an iconic Lewis Hamilton track.
okay,
Okay,
that's
I know
not
what it
this
is.
then. Because this is not his track. Okay, was
Okay, I got
Lewis
it.
Hamilton
I got it.
was
I got it.
cool.
I got it.
Oh my bollocks! I forgot the timer.
Oh my god! Are we done?
Hang on,
This is gonna be
Katie's-
so wrong.
Katie's just.
This is the
mentally
biggest
working.
guess I've ever made
I
on
got
this.
it. No, I think I got it. I think I got
No,
the track.
I have no
know.
clue. I have
Okay,
no
the
clue.
track.
10 seconds are up.
Oh wait, I spelled this wrong. What? There you go.
You both just gone
2006
for
Sao
one.
Paulo.
You've ignored Romain Grosjean here. I see.
Oh, I thought they were the same race.
No, they weren't the same race. They were two
Oh,
separate races.
Oh, I thought. Wait.
The way you worded it, they were the
No.
same race.
I said which Grand Prix, plural.
Wait. So then I don't understand the question.
Okay, I know Lewis's. but I
During
don't
the
know.
COVID pandemic of 2020, we witnessed
Yeah.
the Sakir Grand Prix, which was an outer circuit track in Bahrain. This was the
Mm-hmm.
first race not to feature Lewis Hamilton since which Grand Prix, and Romain Grosjean since which
Oh,
other Grand
right.
I
Prix.
understand now.
Okay, I thought them together.
No.
So Grosjean is then. Where did they touch? It was here, but I don't know which year. I'm
This is why I
gonna
said you
go
can
with
have 2 points, because
20.
you get one for one. Check them
Once, wait, let me brain it.
What year was that? I'm gonna go with this year, but I'm not sure.
So
You gotta
And then
remember, you
Lewis.
have to remember that Lewis has attended every single race of his
Yeah,
career.
he has.
Every single
yeah.
race
I know.
of his career.
yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go with this one. No,
Right,
did he finish
2000
that? Oh no, he finished that, I think. Yeah, he
You can have
finished
half
that
a
in
point
the
for the
end.
year.
Wait.
Is
Half
it
a point for the
finished or
track,
like
half-
even there?
Even there, like it did not feature.
Oh.
It's-
Didn't feature him at
He did
all.
not
he did
at
not.
all.
He didn't feature in the race at all. So it's not pretty much the last
think I
race
got
before
Lewis's.
their debut.
I think I have-
Debut.
I have no clue about it.
I think I have Lewis's, but I don't know Roman's.
I have none.
Grosjean.
I'm just gonna go with
Romain
this track
Grosjean.
because you said so. I have no. I've
Are we done?
literally no
Okay,
clue.
right.
I have no clue.
Baku 2018, Silverstone 2019, 2006
29.
Sao
Sao
Paulo.
Paulo.
That
And-
is what country? Question mark.
Brazil.
Right. Yep. And then
And-
2011 Abu Dhabi. What have you gone for, Katie?
2007 for Lewis. Because you said a year.
Yep.
And then, I don't know, 2011 for Grosjean.
Okay. So surprisingly, Naomi, It was in fact 2006 Brazil for Lewis Hamilton.
Wow, GG.
And it
So,
was...
'cause I was like, what year did he like join? And then I also thought, okay, well, I thought what was the last race in the year before? And then you said like legendary track, and I was like, yes, it's definitely Sao Paulo.
And then Romain Grosjean's was 2012 Italy.
Yeah, I was nowhere near.
Oh, you know why I didn't get that?
Nowhere near.
Why?
You know why I didn't get that? Because I forgot he went back to F2 to win the championship.
Oh, balls, I've just given points to Celeste, which was not what I was meant to do. I was meant to give
Yay, points to
Oi.
me.
Okay,
Oi.
so
30
this one,
points.
this one is a 2-pointer, but you can win an additional 4 points if you would like.
Oh,
It's completely up to you if you want to go for the additionals. It's fine.
oh.
Qatar's
Guitar.
fuck off. Qatar's inaugural Grand Prix was held in 2021 and witnessed 2 drivers take grid penalties prior to the race. Which 2 drivers were they?
Oh, for crying out loud.
You can have extra points if you can identify the penalty and why they received the penalty.
Okay. Okay. I
hell.
might...
That's where you can get the extra 4 points, because obviously
All right.
there's the driver.
Can you repeat it again?
I can. Qatar's
Please.
inaugural Grand Prix was held in 2021 and witnessed 2 drivers take grid penalties prior to the race. Which 2 drivers were they? And you can you can have extra points for the penalty and why the penalty was given.
I don't know. I don't remember anything about that race other than the tyre shit.
I think I know.
I'm gonna guess.
I'm not
I
sure.
need to get my clock on.
Oh, hang on.
I know one for sure. Then the other one I'm not.
Just these 2 penalties caused rather large controversy.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Because
I just don't know what the second
one
is.
driver was struck with a harsher penalty than the other, and
Yep,
nobody believed that everyone believed they should have received like the same penalty, and then other people were like, no.
There was so many. There was more people like involved.
Okay. Wait.
Yeah, because a lot of drivers got let off with like a smack on the back of the hand. And
Yeah,
then these 2 drivers were
that's
like,
what-
here's your
so-
penalty, here's your
Yeah.
penalty, and they were like,
Okay.
wow, FIA loved so and so much because they gave them a less penalty.
I know it's this one. I just don't know.
I'm hoping I have.
They were both for the same thing.
I need
yeah?
some points.
Were they both for the same thing?
Not telling you.
Right? Can
I'm
I
not
get
telling
points
you.
for the grip penalty as well? Like how many places? Right? Or is that not a point thingy?
I think you might have just given them part of the answer here, Celeste. I won't lie to you there. You get extra points for the penalty and why it was given. So obviously if you
I
give...
put. Hang on. Oh, is Naomi finished writing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
I
so ready
put
to put this.
Verstappen got 5th place for double waved yellows, and yeah, Bottas got a 3rd place for yellow flag infringement.
Mm-hmm.
See, I wrote Pierre and Matt,
It's chaotic.
so I was clearly wrong with Pierre. But I remembered the exact reason the yellow flag was out as well, because it was Lando stopped on the pit straight. And yeah, I said like 5 for Matt.
Yeah, so
Wait,
it was...
no.
Yeah, I have max
Sorry, yeah,
5
no, that's fine.
for 2 double
I
yellows.
remember the whole
Fell
Pierre
through.
thing.
And I think that's
Yeah.
why I wrote Pierre.
Yeah, Pierre fucked his front wing, and that's why
Yeah.
the last lot of yellows went out.
I wasn't sure if Carlos
And Lando
because
also
Carlos
stopped
was in
on the
that
pit
mix
straight,
as
I think.
well for penalties, but I
So-
don't think he got it in the end.
It was Max Verstappen who received a 5-place grid penalty for double yellows during Q3. You don't have
Nice.
to get those during Q3, but just so you know. And Valtteri Bottas got a 3-place grid penalty for
Yes.
single yellow infringement in Q3.
So how many points
Nice.
do I get?
You get all 6 points.
Yes, you did.
Hang on, so
I got
Katie
6
gets
as well.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Celeste gets 6 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yes.
6. And Katie gets...
That's why I
not
say
Katie.
yellows.
Oi.
and yellows.
Naomi gets 3.
Wait.
No, Naomi gets... Well, Naomi said max and 5. There was no
That's
talk of
correct.
yellow. There was no talk of yellow flags.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
For the
Okay,
yellow
okay,
flag
right.
for Lando.
she gets
No,
3.
but she said yellow flag, and it was yellow flags.
It was
it was
double
public.
yellows.
I'm so
You're
sorry.
kidding.
Wait, I've just looked it up on the
Oh,
F1
no.
website.
Oh no! Again.
No. So It says very end of final segment of qualifying on Saturday evening. Pierre Gasly ran wide at turn 15, dislodged his front wing, caused him to puncture his front right tyre. As he slowed his stricken AlphaTauri on the pit straight, the yellow flag was shown. The other one was something to do with Carlos. And they said that he should have had one,
No,
but he
I think
didn't.
I think Carlos
Yeah.
was in that thing for the yellow flags as well. But then there
Yeah,
was
but he
so
didn't
much
end up getting it.
chaos with like the light pedals and the flags, and some things were and some things weren't, and that was why there was a whole lot of like chaos around it.
See, so that
Some
question,
people
by the way,
had-
It was
Yeah.
all to do with your man Pierre Gasly. He caused the drama.
Yeah.
Gasly!
So,
Caused the
after that
chaos.
question, which is technically the final question, but I do have a bonus question.
I was gonna say,
Celeste is on 7 points.
I did horrible.
Naomi is on 7 points. And
They copied
Katie
me.
is on 6 points. So, this last one.
Wait, how did I get 7 points? I only got. Oh yeah. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. I got one.
oh my god!
I was
Okay,
like,
so
oh.
I'm stressed
the
now.
bonus question is gonna either be the decider or there's gonna be a draw. So, in Qatar, during qualifying, 4 teams placed in the top 5.
Oh, for crying
Which 4 teams were they?
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Quarter.
Repeat.
I was like, which year is this? And then he said quarter.
In Qatar,
Yeah.
during qualifying,
Are we talking on track or like the final result?
the final result.
Okay.
It was the same. During qualifying, 4 teams placed in the top
No, it's
5.
not the same. Because the penalties.
The penalties.
So
They received the penalties after. Hang on,
because that was the whole
I
thing.
will
Because Max.
double check
but then
which
didn't.
way round it is if my browser wanted to work. Thank you.
I know this one for sure.
Blah, la, 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 la,
Oh, shit.
la, ba, da, ba, da, ba, da, ba. Bidaboo.
That one. I
We're
didn't
talking
like.
this
No,
year's.
that's-
No, last year's.
Mm-hmm.
It's a follow-on from last question. Okay, cool. Cool.
I have broken my browser qualifying. Going off of the F1 website. Yes, going off of the F1 website. So it must
So-
have been before the penalties.
Mm.
Prior to penalties in Qatar
Mhm.
during
Shit.
qualifying, 4 teams placed in the top 5.
Oh, yeah.
Which 4 teams?
Oh, I'm not sure though.
Time is
I think
going
I've got it.
on, you wee bitches, and I forgot to reset it, so we're going up to 20 seconds instead of 10 because I forgot to delete it.
Wait, what?
And it's in fact been 10
I've got it.
seconds.
I
Okay.
remember. I remember.
Okay, then I know what it is.
Oh.
Wait,
Right.
I crossed one off, so if I
I've got-
crossed the wrong one off.
I've got Merc, Red
Seems
Bull,
like- yeah, okay.
AlphaTauri, and Alpine. Because I think Alonso qualified
Ferrari,
5th.
Red Bull, Alpha Tauri, Merc,
Oh,
Ferrari,
yeah,
Alpha
right.
Tauri. And what did you say,
Yeah.
Celeste? Look, Katie? Fuck.
Alpine because Alonso qualified P5.
Yeah.
So you went, what have you gone with?
Because Pierre
Wait,
qualified
wait.
P4.
What 4 teams have you gone with?
Merc, Red Bull. Then it went Merc again. Then it went AlphaTauri. Then it went Alpine.
Yep, spot on.
Jesus.
Hamilton,
Christ.
Verstappen,
As soon
Bottas,
as you
Gasly,
said
Alonso.
Alpine.
And then
Yeah, I
P6
remembered.
was
Because
Lando Norris.
I remember that Pierre set a fast enough time that even though he fucked himself up and like caused it all to go
No.
wrong, he still qualified P4 because no one else could
Yeah.
then set a faster lap.
Guys.
What?
Guys.
We got
Is it a
freeway
draw?
time.
You've all got the same amount of points, and I don't have a spare question. I don't have a spare question.
Oh god.
You'll win.
We're
Okay,
all- you
I
will
have-
win.
I have
I'm
Singapore.
good with the freeway.
No, I have Singapore 2008's Wikipedia pulled up. Let's pull something.
No,
Right.
not
I'll
28.
take the
Not
load. I'll take the load.
2008.
Not
I'll take the loss.
2008.
I was hardly born.
No.
20.
But,
Who
yeah.
who won
Who
Singapore?
was
Who won Singapore 2008?
Fernando Alonso.
Fuck's sake!
Bro. Oh, Fernando Alonso. It's Fernando.
Piss off. Okay, right. You guys can settle this week on a 3-way tie.
Yeah, I'm good with
Yeah,
that.
we just all win it.
Can't-
I say we
can't
all
do.
win.
I can't do any more questions. Like my head is fucking
Right.
pounding.
And now handing it over to Naomi Newman, our two-wheel enthusiast, because who loves less wheels than 4? It's Naomi Newman.
I love that
I
inflection.
don't know.
Very good.
Moto
Yeah.
3.
Moto 3. So we're gonna do
What
Moto
is
3,
Moto
Moto 2.
in French?
Moto.
What?
Moto?
Moto. Like.
Do you think Moto is
Moto.
English?
Is it not?
Oh, it's like Spanish.
I thought it was called Moto because they just took off our bike.
No, it's Spanish.
Oh. I genuinely
I
thought
think-
MotoGP just came
I
from because they
think-
took away our bike, so it's technically
I
Motorbike
think-
GP, but they just like
No.
shortened it to MotoGP, like Moto our bike.
Well done, Alice.
Thank you.
My mum calls it the GP. I'm like,
That's confusing.
I
The
honestly,
GP.
I'm so confused. There's only one GP.
I know. But yes, we're going to do Moto 3, Moto 2, MotoGP, and we're also going to chat a little about BSB, just because I love BSB a lot. And it was chaos this weekend, it broke my heart. But anyway, so with Moto 3, obviously last week we talked about the mechanics who,
Yes.
you know,
Attacked
did
a
the bad.
child.
Basically. So obviously those two mechanics have got suspended.
Good,
Or
as they should.
I think it was either 2 or 3 races, but it can only happen after Japan and Thailand due to like visa issues.
Yeah.
But Max Racing Team actually sacked the mechanic. So they've sacked the mechanic who initiated that all. Yeah.
Oh my god.
fair enough.
As they
To be
should.
fair, I think they said that they were going to. Like, they
Yeah.
weren't. They said whatever the sort of outcome was, that they
Yeah.
were going to do something.
Because at the
Yeah,
end of the
Max
day,
Biaggi.
they're just giving the team a bad name.
Yeah, Max
Because
Biaggi
now
was
when
very.
when people think about the team, they're just going to think, oh, that's the team that like slammed a child's brakes on.
Yeah, and Max Biaggi is very, very clear about that, and he's a great guy. You know, he raced himself and was amazing. I think that's why he probably made that stance, because you know he's
Yeah.
raced. I think he was like, if anyone ever did that to me, it'd be over for them. But it was a very rainy weekend. So it's Japan, if you don't know, in MotoGP. And yeah, there was basically a typhoon.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so
Not the first
that
time
really,
we have that.
it really gave the Japanese and British riders an advantage because they're very much used to it. Alice?
Isn't it currently typhoon season?
Yes.
It normally is
So-
around.
Why? Okay, so this is pinning back to F1, but I'm guessing it counts for Moto as well. That F1's excuse for like dotting the fucking races all over the gaff is because of like weather reasons. But like, why would you go to Japan during typhoon season?
Because they like the fun of it.
And the
We
same
always
with
do.
like
They're
MotoGP.
silly.
Why?
They're silly.
Why go during typhoon season?
They're silly.
Very
Very
good
silly.
question.
Thank
Can't
you.
help
But
but
yeah,
answer
so
it.
it really advantaged.
Advanced.
I don't know.
It did.
It gave the Japanese riders and the British riders an advantage because they're very used to riding in the rain. I mean, most of the paddock is Italian or Spanish riders, so they're not.
Mhm.
I mean, they ride in the rain, of course, but they're not like
Yeah.
as used to it. And then we did have a little bit of silly season talk. It looks like Dennis Ontu is going to Aki Ayo Moto 3, which was actually a really big shock. Like, he deserves it, absolutely. But I didn't expect it. But there's a couple of options because World Superbikes in like the Super Sport paddock, there's a couple of options there to go with his brother. But yeah, and then with John McPhee, he's either going to Moto 2 or World Supersport. Here's one option in Moto 2. This is coming from Michael Laverty. If you don't know Michael Laverty, he is John's manager. He's got one option in Moto 2, which they will be finding out in the next couple of weeks if that will be happening or not, because he's aging out of Moto3.
Do they have an age limit?
They do. The age limit is 27.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jake Hughes would be fine.
Just about.
Oi.
Yeah. But yeah, so they'll be finding that out in the next couple of weeks. But it would be good if John was able to stick in the paddock. Quali, I didn't watch Quali, I'm not going to lie to you. It's early in the morning.
What does WUP mean?
Warm up.
Warm up.
But yeah, so Scott Ogden, our British boy, got P2 in quali. That's his highest position. I mean, usually he qualifies in like 17th, 18th, so great for Scott. Eh?
I said, "Jeez."
Yeah. It's so good, and that happened because just like the rain.
Yeah.
And warm up. Traumatizing. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
There were so many crashes. So it started
in the warm up.
Yeah, it was so bad. So basically, the whole weekend we had. Sorry, I'm being really loud. I need to listen to myself. We had no like dry running apart from FP1, warm up, and the race. So it was like, okay. And even then, like, FP1 was a bit damp because, like, it had rained overnight. And we only had a couple of practice sessions. FP3 got cancelled completely. And they only ran one session on the Friday for each series. So warm-up started with Sergio Garcia, like, just having an issue with his bike in the pit lane. So he was, like, freaking out about that, of course. He's a very emotive man, and I can only explain that by he crashed in Silverstone in front of me, very much hurting. I don't know whether it was Ayumu Sasaki who did cause the crash or he did. I can't remember. I watched it live, but, you know. And he, you know, Ayumu's sat on the side of the track, like, not even moving. Like, he had a very bad crash.
Oh, shit.
And he was there, like, slamming his wind mirror in anger, not even checking if Ayumu was okay. And we were all just like, okay. He wasn't very happy. But yeah, and then, so the amount of crashes, I've only had to name, like, a few.
I was going to say, I was scrolling down, it's just like crash,
yeah.
crash.
Isan crashed. Isan Fafera, he is leading the Moto3 championship at the moment. He had a crash with John McPhee, but John didn't crash. So the only way I can explain it
is the finger?
Kind of like... No. This is another one. Don't worry. This is like the next one I'm going to talk about. So it's kind of like the Kota crash, if you remember, with Pedro Acosta. So John's going along like this, and Isan's going behind, and Isan just like touches John somehow and goes off. His bike hits the barrier. It's a big mess. I think Isan was very lucky that he didn't hit himself worse. But, you know, John was spoken to, and he said he's got so many issues with his bike at the moment that his gear shift changes so like drastically that it slows his bike down, which then caused Isan to crash. So it was kind of like a racing incident kind of thing. But during the replay we saw of that incident, we heard like another bike go down, because in like MotoGP you hear things usually before you see it. And that's when we saw Dennis Ontu go down. I can't actually remember how this crash happened, but he hit himself very badly. You've all seen the pictures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I regret opening it. I actually regret opening it.
Yeah.
I regret opening that.
So what happened was he went down, and I don't know if we did see a replay, but we saw him running off with the marshals, and he's holding his arm. So we were like, oh god, he's broken his arm. And he's like crouching over, and if you don't know Dennis, he gets hit a lot, and he kind of just plays it off, and he's like, nah, I'm fine. but he was like genuinely like keeling over in pain with this. And he gets on the back of the moped and he stops off at the medical centre and legs it straight in, which is very unlike Dennis because he's that type of person of, no, I don't need to go to the medical centre. But he legged it straight in, apparently complaining with elbow pain, which is what MotoGP said. Talking about MotoGP's medical standards, it's another thing that I could talk about forever, but hey-ho. Later on, it was said that it was his finger, and Sylvain Gintoli, who
I don't even
was
want to think about it.
talking on BT Sport, said he was in Clinica Mobile. I can't remember if that's the name now. Brain fog. And he came in screaming for some like medication, some painkillers, and basically what happened was his pinky nail was ripped from his finger.
There's
a picture.
when you describe it, like I can look at the video, like look at the photo, but you describing that just made me fucking give up.
Yeah, it's bad.
So
there is a picture if you really want to see it, but
no, you don't.
so
You don't want to
graphic.
see it. Believe me.
If you thought
It's
Belinda
so
was bad
graphic.
last weekend, this is 30 times worse.
This is yeah.
But yeah, so he has no pinky nail.
Not
His
Belinda.
whole finger's bloody and got iodine
Oh,
on
it's
it, and
disgusting.
it is dreadful.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, that was so bad. I rate Dennis very highly as a rider, and I always like keep an eye out for him. So I was very worried in that moment. And that was not fun.
No.
Adrian Fernandez crashed basically right after onto, but I can't remember the details of it. And then Carlos Tatai also crashed. And then to get onto the race, poor Scott Ogden was so nervous on the front row, bless him. I was sat there and just like so nervous. He's a rookie in the class as well, if you don't know. And it was just, bless him, he was very worried. And Taylor McKenzie, his team boss, spoke to a reporter before, and he said, I feel like a dad trying to tell him to just chill out. And yeah, bless, he was very nervous, and unfortunately it didn't go well for him. He went a bit backwards, to be honest. But it's the experience. It's all experience that he's gaining. I know that's a way to take the positive.
Yeah.
But it's experience that he's gaining. Denis Onchu clearly struggled in the first couple of laps. He got pushed off wide, and then
No, he's got COVID.
Go for
Yeah.
it.
COVID.
I do actually, so just to make that clear. And yeah, so he got pushed off wide and ended up going with like the last riders. So it was really hard for him to come back up. Danny Holgado, who is Dennis's teammate? No, he's not. Who's Dennis's teammate? Adrian, ignore me. Had a really heavy crash. He had a proper fast one. So he had to take like a second on the side of the track just to kind of make sure he was okay. And then he ended up going to the medical center in the ambulance with like leg pain. But he said he was like he was declared fit, and we've seen him going to Thailand today. Tatsuki Suzuki started on pole for this guy, and he
Oh, I
crashed
love
out.
that.
Oh,
He crashed out.
Oh.
That's not very nice
Yeah.
of you to say that you
So
love the
sad.
fact he crashed out, Celeste.
No, I heard pole and home base, and I was like, oh, that's so nice. And then he crashed out, and I was like, oh, well done.
Yeah, so that was quite sad, to be honest. And Adrian went down right behind him, almost like in sympathy. But yeah, and then Scott crashed. And my thing that I said is, from the front row, falling to the back of the pack after rejoining. It's a big shame, but he was very nervous, being a rookie at this track, and basically having no dry running, and it is definitely something for him to be proud of. It's experience he's getting. You can tell he's such like one of the like Britishes.
Britishers.
Britain,
I love the Britishers.
Britain's like up and coming talents. Like he's really got it. Like, and I can't wait to see what he can do. Hopefully he stays on with Vision Track this year, or goes on further. But I think staying with Vision Track would do him a big favor. I think is people he's comfortable with. And then Guevara managed to get to the front of the pack, and just pushed. Like this kid is unbelievable. He is so good, and he will just get to the front and he'll build like such a gap that you don't see in Moto3. I mean, the only time we saw it before was maybe with like Pedro Acosta, but even then he had Poggio up with him. But like Guevara can do it and just fire like himself forward. And it was like his first time at this track. It's crazy, unbelievable. Van Mimizia had a really big high side from P2, which is really frustrating for him. He wants that podium, of course. Ended up going to the medical center, of course, in an ambulance. He was suffering from like a lot of chest pain, but that was mainly from the airbag that goes off when they hit the ground.
Running. Did it make sense? Does it for fun? You break it.
But he was all okay. And then Guevara won, and basically just he's gonna win the championship. He's a real title favourite. And then Poggio P2 and Sasaki P3 in his home race. But David Munoz looked really like in pain after the race. He had some dressing on his side, but like he was in a lot of pain. So hopefully he can get himself sorted after that. Anything to comment on Moto3, gals?
I haven't seen it.
I was watching touring cars this weekend. I didn't have time for anything else.
I was working and sleeping and working and sleeping and working and sleeping.
This is basically how the MotoGP section goes. Is me being like, yeah! Moto2. Chele had a very bad qualifying for C. What?
What?
Just giggling to myself.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've got to
giggling.
that point where I'm really tired that I just started laughing.
Well, I don't even know what's happening.
Not you.
Thank you. Thanks, Mummy.
Oh no!
We went so long. We went so long without it.
Oh wait, you missed it, but I said it earlier to you.
Oh, did
I
you?
said I went.
Oh, you missed
Sorry,
it.
Mummy. Your Moto Mummy. Sorry, carry on.
Was it Formula 2?
Yeah, Moto2, Chele just had a poor qualifying. It's a shame to see what's happened
God
to
damn it,
Chele.
Celeste.
Yeah.
You had a poor
I'm gonna call you,
qualifier.
I'm gonna call
Yeah,
you
I
Chele
know.
from now
I
on.
really
Chele.
tried.
Chele.
Yeah, I
Chele.
really tried.
Sure, you did.
And Sam Lowe's, he was declared fit for the weekend, but he had a crash in,
Oh sure.
I don't know what session it was, I'm not gonna lie. But he was
Wrong.
perfectly fine after the track. Crash, even. What are you wronging?
I was just staring
But
at this one.
he just decided with the team that he wasn't going to carry on for the weekend. Hopefully to take part in Thailand. But it's a bit of a shame because he said he wants to just like go for it really. But hey ho. The race was chaos.
I was gonna say there was a lot of
Yeah, I don't. To be truthful, I don't enjoy Moto2 as much as I enjoy Moto3.
Ooh.
You heard it here first,
Drama.
folks.
It is way less
Statement right
competitive.
there.
Is that the same with Formula 2 and Formula 3?
Actually, that's
It
true. It is.
Naomi likes them young.
Yes.
You can't say that.
Oh my god.
People can
Just
take
about
things
to
out of
answer.
context.
I would like to
Yes.
preference. I would like to preference. Naomi is the age of the F3 drivers.
I was gonna say,
She is
I'm
the
18.
She is the age of the F3
I am
drivers.
18.
She is being.
Please, Lord.
Alright.
I'm
Well,
18.
to me,
F2 drivers are older
the
than me.
F3 drivers are like children.
Babies. Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah,
I'm
like
the same age as a lot
I
of them.
remember the time when the F2 drivers were my age, and now I have to shoot for paid drivers if I want to date a driver, and that's basically a very difficult, non-existent road that I'll never try and step down. Really.
Yeah, the race was a bit chaotic. Aldeguer, poor man. Just poor man. So the first end of the first lap was Canet and from Aldeguer, P1 and P2. Aldeguer Did I speak English then?
No, you speak Welsh.
True. Aldeguer crashed out then. His front end went down into turn 5, which was
Bet it did.
such a big shame. Right?
Nothing.
He was very upset, bless him. Had obviously his head down on the side of the track, and he went into the garage, and he looked like he was going to cry, to be honest.
Oh, poor bloke.
But he is only a wee kid, which is
How
very
old
sad.
is he?
I think he's 16.
Oh my god,
Let me
that's
have a look.
so young.
Hold on.
I keep forgetting it. It's
A
the same with, like,
child.
Formula
He's
6.
17. I do apologise.
But it's still very young.
He's a wee boy. He's very tall, though. Very tall.
How tall?
Still so
Alright, you can crash this fine, you're
He's
tall.
taller than me.
You're tall.
How
He's
tall
taller
are
than me.
you? You're not very tall.
I'm taller than you.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Well then.
That's not difficult.
True. Yeah, but it was very sad.
I
And
know,
then,
true. That's the first one to say true.
True. Aaron Canet then went down from the lead. That man, he deserves a win, and it's not coming to him, and it's very sad. It was turn 9. He was trying to build a gap that he didn't need to push for so much, which is a really big shame because he has a win in him, but he just couldn't get there, and it's the curse of the bow tie. That's what we all say, and I know that's going to make no sense to all of you. But so basically, to explain the bow tie situation, when he goes up on the podium, he wears a bow tie and some glasses sometimes, but usually bow tie. And it's a wooden bow
Heard of
tie.
this.
And
I heard
Why?
of
he
this.
said, when I win, I'm going to tell you what it means. When I win, I'm going to explain.
Oh, that's interesting.
Interesting.
But now we've all thought, okay, no, it's cursing him. And but the bow tie broke.
Oh no, that's a bad thing. Mm-mm.
That
Yeah,
is a
that's-
bad
I don't know
omen.
whether
That
he
is a
broke it or it broke,
bad
but he-
That is
omen.
bad.
He's explained it. Let me just try. Oh, I remember what it was. I can't find it, but I can remember what it was now. Basically, he had the bow tie because when he was looking for a seat last year, a lot of the teams said no to him purely on his tattoos.
Oh, really?
So if you don't know about Aaron, he is covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
I
Like
love that.
covered. Like
Mhm.
you guys have a
Okay.
look. Like he's filled.
Yeah.
Gonna go for it.
And so they said no, we're not going to take you because of your tattoos.
I didn't think that was going to be a thing in racing.
I know. And
Holy shit.
yeah, so he got the bow tie to prove, like, I'm still professional. I can still
Yeah.
do what I do.
Good for
Um,
him.
But yeah, the bow tie broke. I don't know. So you guys say it's
He
bad
got in
luck.
a
A lot of us are like,
crash?
no, it's good luck. He got in a car crash. That wasn't his fault, just to make that clear. Him and his girlfriend got in a car crash, and he was out for a lot of races because
Oh,
he
shit.
basically broke his nose.
Oh, he
and he
is
was
covered in
getting-
tattoos.
Yeah, he was getting constant nosebleeds due to the car crash and him breaking his nose. and he had to get his nose cauterized because he was getting nosebleeds while on track and everything. It was really bad.
Oh my god.
Chelly Vietti.
How did you
He
do,
crashed.
Shelly? Oh,
He crashed.
Shelly.
What did you just call it?
Crash.
Chelly.
Fuck's
Like
sake.
Chelly, but Chelly.
Shelly.
It's Chelly.
Oh yeah, but that's Shelly up there. That's Shelly. Sorry.
But yeah, he crashed. I think it's a shame because we've lost everything that we saw at the beginning of the season. He was fighting for the championship. It was basically, oh yeah, Celestino Vietti is going to win the championship. And it's a shame he lost it.
What, can he not win it at all now?
Well, no, he can.
Oh.
But if he wins every race from now on,
maybe he will. That's what Ferrari.
with the way he's been going, I doubt that because I think that's the issue. Is he's been crashing out of like every race.
Is it like silly mistakes or is it just like
Silly? It's like rookie mistakes.
Oh shit.
And he's not a rookie. It's ridiculous. This weekend the crash was really weird because he just it was a really slow crash and it even when watching the commentators were like, ah, that's strange. That shouldn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But hey ho. The fight for the win. Well, at this point it was the win. Between Agura and Lopez was incredible. I was dying. It was 6 a.m. and I was just screaming. Magically, my housemates didn't hear me.
Oh. Good job.
I know.
Fair enough.
But Lopez was really struggling into Tin 5. But then he was so fast on the straights, he'd always be able to pull it back. Fernandez was incredible. Augusto Fernandez, current championship leader. I don't know about that actually. Let me check. But he was looking ridiculously strong. World standings, Moto2, yes, current championship leader. But Agura won, and he won his home race. So he's the first Japanese winner in Japan since 2006.
That's crazy.
That.
Since 2006, and it's the first time back in Japan in 3 years.
That's crazy.
And it was great. So, everyone was in tears in the pit lane. His mother, his team principal. His team principal was the last Japanese winner in Japan.
That is so amazing.
So,
that's so cool.
it was
That's
really
very
nice.
whole circle.
It was,
It's very
it connects.
making
it
a story.
Yeah, I love that.
Beautiful. But he really managed to pull back in the champ. I mean, he wasn't far away, but in the championship. So Augusto Fernandez is on 234 points, and he's now on 232.
Oh,
Yes.
But if he wins, he should have got the LCR seat instead of Taka Nakagami. But they decided to keep Taka just to stay with the team, just in case, say Mark gets injured again, just to have that experience, someone who's experienced with the Honda. They're bringing in Alex Rins and Joan Mir, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. MotoGP.
Right, hang on. You said Jack wins with a massive advantage.
Yeah.
I thought it was Jorge Martin that won.
He didn't. It was Miller. Jack Miller.
Then why did I write in the chat, I'm so happy that Jorge...
I know! You know when you
Josh
tried that, I was like, okay, it must have been Le Mans, European Le Mans series, because I was like,
No! That's why I said, I'm so happy Josh won his birthday, because we have this ongoing joke that Jorge Martin is Josh Martin in disguise.
Yeah. JM.
He's still JM.
Yeah, there's still yeah.
Yeah, Jack. Yeah, okay, but it's the Martin.
It's the Martin.
Yeah.
Sorry, Josh, you didn't win.
On his birthday. Oh. The thing is, you didn't even question it. You didn't even.
Yeah, because I thought you were talking about European Le Mans series.
It wasn't even over. I hadn't even started watching it at this point.
I wasn't watching it.
This will happen at 7 a.m, babes. The race doesn't start until 11, 10. One of the above.
And I didn't know when you read the results.
What? The race hadn't even started.
Oh, fucking chaos, mate.
Chaos.
Anyway, Taka. So obviously we talked about him being injured. He basically had to have surgery on his pinky and his ring finger. Is that what that is? I don't know.
Yeah, 'cause I was saying
Yeah.
that he should definitely have just done it with 3 fingers, and you said no, that's not possible, Alice.
Yeah, he was an idiot for racing. I'm not even kidding. Like, he's an idiot.
Well, he listened to me, so
But he only listened to you because it's his home race.
exactly.
But yeah, so he basically lost a lot of the tendons in his finger.
Shit.
He lost 60% of the tendons
Whoa.
in his finger.
That's
So,
a lot.
Taco,
he had
don't listen
to-
to me next time, babe.
He had to have surgery on his head on the Monday and then raced and like competed on the Sunday, which is ridiculous. It's still unsure if he's gonna actually compete in Thailand because it's not important for him, and I think it'd be stupid to risk it. But
Mhm.
yeah, you know, we saw him like pulling off his glove after the race, and he's like, he just can't even pull it off. He's like crying. It's like a glove, and I quote him, "I have a glove full of blood."
Oh, gross.
So-
No, I
Hope you're
did
not all
not
eating
need that
right now.
quote.
Yeah, so he really hit himself. And I think you'll probably laugh at these notes, but my notes for this is lots of people's first times. But it was, you know, people who started as a rookie in 2020, it's their first time on a MotoGP bike in MotoGP. So like, Alex Marquez is my example because if you don't know, Alex is my boy. And it was his first time in MotoGP, like at MotoGP, so which was incredible. And then my next note, as you can tell, I was a bit excited, is a fucking luck pull.
That was so incredible. I woke up to that.
Incredible.
I can't believe he did that. I woke up.
Insane.
I woke up to it
Pixie shit.
because I couldn't stay up. I've been ill, if you don't know.
Really? You haven't mentioned.
Didn't know that.
Oh, no way. Do you by any chance have maybe like this virus? What was it? COVID? Corona?
Corona.
And yeah, so he bloody stuck it on pole, didn't he? He's just
Insane.
unbelievable.
So proud.
No, I'm not making a comment. Nope.
Do it, Kate.
I don't need Christian Horner at my door. I do not need that man at my door.
So is that done? Hello again, Casey.
Here I am again.
It's been 20 minutes since you last made a comment.
But yeah,
He's
we
like,
love-
Katie, will you ever let me go home? I've been here for 755 days. I have a wife and children. Let me go home.
He's probably like, no, keep him going, keep it going.
But yeah, Mark was unbelievable.
Mhm.
Start on the race. Alicia Spargo, who was obviously like putting himself to win, and I think, to be honest, he had the chances, had an issue on the sliding lap, which basically someone left the pit lane limiter on the bike, I think it was. So he couldn't like compete properly. He had to come into the pits
So sad.
and change his bikes. In MotoGP, you can do that. You can hop from one bike to another, your second bike.
So that's used to that. Carry on.
Yeah, no, I just.
But then he actually slammed his bike down. Like, he fully dropped his bike, which
Oh.
must have been expensive. I'm surprised
Do you
he
think
did
he
that.
had to pay for it?
No, obviously not. But like, still, if I were his team principal, I'd be like, "Can you
I'll
not
be
throw
pissed
your bike
off.
next time?"
Yeah.
So yeah, he had to then do a pit lane start, which is a bit annoying. And Jorge Martin led on the first lap from Binder, Miller, and Marquez. And Miller just had unbelievable pace. Jack is just, I think when Jack has it, he has it. And
He
he
has
said,
it. Yeah.
yeah, and it was funny because a lot of his things said like, turns out I can ride a motorbike. And I think that just comes from like his confidence he lost being dropped by Ducati. And I think he kind of felt like, I don't know if I can still do this. You know, like, is this like? And he just says like, well, can do it. I can do it. And Anea and Pekka were battling again.
And again.
But for P10.
Let's go, Pekka.
But for P10. So they
What's
were.
your problem?
It was a proper battle though. But hey, Alice, you can't say much. Fabio was like one place above them.
Tell her.
One place above them.
Oh, just you wait. There's more. There is more.
Above. Did he finish
but
above
carry
them?
on.
Did he finish above them? Did he?
I'll get to it.
Did he finish above them?
I'll get to it.
Did he finish above them while injured? Trust me and him are burn besties. I know the pain of being burnt.
Oh, don't throw this card. This is.
I'll get to it. I'll carry on. But Nagashima, who is the HRC test rider, who is doing a wildcard in Mitigi, crashed out, which is.
So I'm guessing
weird.
he failed the test.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point is not to crash.
Oh, right.
So
a bit of a you had one job thing there.
Literally. And Tsuda, who was in replacement for Zhou and Mia for this weekend, his bike literally went up in flames.
Oh. Don't say it, Alice. Don't you dare. Don't make a joke. I do not want to hear it.
But he didn't get in, which is good. He luckily hopped off the bike and the marshals got to it. But a bit of a shame. And then Rins pulled in to retire. So it's a bit of a nightmare last race for Suzuki. Like it's sorry, my housemates are being noisy.
And you were worried about keeping them up.
One of them is literally moving in. They're making so much noise.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Rins pulled in to retire, which was like a nightmare last home race for Suzuki. And the whole race was a bit boring, to be honest. It was so boring. Not a lot of overtaking. But Mark did get Oliveira for P4 in like the last couple of laps. And he actually said, for the first time in a long time, he didn't feel any pain.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I'm so happy about that. I think, I love Mark. He's great. And Pecco
You too.
was, I know. Pecco was going to overtake. He was trying his best to overtake Fabio. Remember, they're proper championship rivals, and he actually went down in the last lap. Crashed. Luckily didn't take out Fabio, like this close to taking out Fabio.
I wish he did.
Bro, you're
Wow.
asking for it.
That's a low.
No, joking. I love Fabio, actually. I really like
Yeah,
him.
bet you do. It's only because I support the best
No,
Fabio.
But yeah, so luckily he didn't take him out, and that's when Jack won with his just unbelievable advantage, and I'm really happy for Jack. He deserved it.
I'm telling you, it's a Mandela effect. Jorge Martin won. I physically remember Jorge Martin winning. This is actually a conspiracy theory. It's the Mandela effect.
Oh,
Yes,
God.
but that's the point of the Mandela effect. People believe two different things. I'm telling you, Jorge Martin won.
Okay, you're wrong, but anyway.
Okay, but you're wrong. So the Mandela effect. Jorge
He was on the
Martin.
podium if that makes
Jack
you feel
Miller.
better.
Sorry, I am
Wins.
listening. I'm also doing something for work. Sorry, Karen.
He was on the podium if that makes you feel better.
Yeah, on the top step, he won.
Oh, God.
Anyway, but special shout out to Brad Binder, who was on the podium. He was on it. He has
he
that.
He
didn't
didn't
crash?
bend it.
No, Darren.
Oh.
Darren crashed. Don't get me wrong. Darren
So
crashed.
Darren binned it, but
No, stop.
It's too late for this.
Jesus Christ.
Just no.
Yeah. Anyway, ignoring Alice, Brad. He has these couple of races every year that he's just like unbelievable. I think Jack and Brad as a pairing next year in the KTM will be amazing. Can't wait to see it. BSB.
throwing it back to Naomi in the studio with some British superbags.
Beautiful.
Anyway,
What is your
BSB
problem,
was
Naomi?
chaotic this weekend.
Hello?
What's the matter, Naomi?
Shut up.
What is the problem?
Oh, I'm muting her. Anyway, BSB was chaotic this weekend. I think that's, I mean, I've only been watching this year, really, but I think that's probably the most chaotic weekend in BSB I've watched. Even BSB put out a statement and was saying, like, that's probably the most action-filled weekend we've seen for the whole of the championship ever.
Jesus.
So as part of the showdown, we've been at Alton Park, and there were just some really bad crashes. It happened mostly in race 2, but in race 1 there was also some crashes. So in race 1, Jason O'Halloran and Taryn McKenzie also crashed. So Jason crashed. He was pushed off by, I think it was Peter Hickman, who actually ended up getting disqualified from the race due to that. Yeah. It was a big thing, but it was quite, it was the last lap.
Mm-hmm.
O'Halloran's literally racing for the championship.
Okay.
And he got slammed off. So it was quite a big thing, and he was very angry. One of the marshals, bless this marshal, if you're not going to be listening, but Pinkhead Marshall, you're a legend. Literally stopping him from running on track and beating up Peter Hickman, and I'm not.
Oh,
My
shit.
God.
Damn.
He threw his gloves away, threw his helmet down. He was going for it.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
shit. He should be in
but-
NASCAR.
Yeah. But yeah, and then Taryn McKenzie crashed off. I can't remember if it was before or after. But from that, while he was sat down, so basically just slipped, basically. While he was there, it looked like he'd It's crazy now that I say this, because I remember thinking this at the time and being like, whoa, and then when I explain what happened in the next race, it'll be like, okay, that's weird. The way he was sat looked like he'd broken his legs.
Oh, God.
And it was horrifying. I thought he really badly hit himself, and basically the only reason I'm into BSB is Taryn. So I was like, oh my god, if he's hit himself, I swear to God. But then race 2 happened, and it was dreadful. It was really bad. And basically Taryn, I can't remember what corner it was, to be honest. Taryn was going through the corner. He lost the bike, but the way he fell was on when you fall on the chicane and you go through the grass and then back onto the track. It was like that, and it was very bad. And Taz got hit by Peter Hickman. In the moment, I genuinely thought Taryn had lost his life, which was not nice.
Jeez.
Because we'd seen it plenty of times before, and say with Jason Dupasquier, we've seen it before, and it was dreadful the way he came back on track. But he was loaded on to the ambulance. The BSB team handled it so well, and he went to hospital, and he's got a broken femur. Which, if you know BSB, if you know Taryn, it's a big shame, because basically at the beginning of the year he was fighting to be fit for the championship. He didn't even start the championship in the first race because of how much he was trying to get fit, because he broke his ankle in a testing accident in the preseason test. He broke his ankle in the preseason test, but he also broke his ankle before that in preseason trying to train, and he broke his ankles in Spain with his brother. But yeah, not fun. So big shame for Taryn, trying to keep his championship, and yeah, massive shame. But to be honest, just glad he's alive.
Yeah, true.
Which sometimes is weird to say in the bikes. And then the race resumed. Obviously, it was red flagged for Taryn's incident, but it resumed. And then there was somehow an even bigger accident. It started raining, which I think was kind of part of the accident. It just, you know, like in racing we use the terms like mental rain. And that kind of happened, and basically it was Rory Skinner, Christian Idden, and I actually can't remember the other person. It's escaped my mind. But those two were the one that ended up being injured from the incident. And the girls have seen the video, or at least Katie and Celeste had.
Yeah,
I was working.
mad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was hard.
It was
Hard to watch.
Insane.
basically Rory ended up trapped, kind of. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
To explain,
I don't know.
this is the tire. So this is the tire. That's the like top of the bike. That's the tire. This is Rory.
Yeah.
It just
And it was
crazy.
and like that's Rory's legs.
Yeah. Onto the tire,
so
sort of.
Rory ended up breaking his hand, unfortunately.
Good job we went to the nails.
Yeah, luckily he did actually get checked in that sense, and he is okay. But for that to be the only injury he's got is unbelievable.
Yeah,
And Christian Idden somehow, I think, came away with no injuries. But it was really, really worrying. That whole incident was a mess, and I'm very glad that everyone's okay.
So, thank you guys for stopping by, joining us for this is probably going to be another long episode.
A long podcast.
It won't. Oh, I wonder which is going to be longer, episode 2 or episode 4. Interesting.
Ooh.
We'll see what editing Alice does, because I don't know how much there is to cut out, because there were like multiple times we're like, I need a drink, I need to go do this, I need to go do that. Naomi's dying of COVID, so she's like, oh, I need to blow my nose. Really inconsiderate, I know, guys, but yeah.
Sorry.
But thank you guys for stopping by and joining us for episode 4. You can watch it over on YouTube, or you can listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts. And we will be back next week for October,
Ooh.
which October does have a couple little bonuses for you.
Ding.
Yeah.
Oh.
What?
What was that?
I said Singapore.
Singapore. So excited.
Yeah, so we hope you enjoy Singapore this weekend. Quickly follow us, Suzuka. If you want to find out what's happening this weekend, you can head over to our Instagram, parkfem_. And yeah, thank you guys for stopping by and listening. Make sure you leave it a like, a little 5-star rating, and we will catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.